Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly game master today. Because today we are continuing on our ongoing campaign playing Green Ronin's very cool modern age RPG set in the Threefold setting. And with me today are the stars of our Threefold campaign, which we're calling Threshold. So first up, or no, we're not. We're calling it Terminus. I'm drawing a map of something called Threshold, so that's why that's drifting around. Terminus is the name of our campaign. So with me are the stars of the Terminus campaign. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing. First up, I have Mo.
Hi, I'm Morris.
Oh, you're very quiet right now, Mo.
Is that better?
That's better, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just really whack it right up. Yeah, I'm Morris. I'm playing Amber Black, who's a former junior NCO from the US Army and conspiracy theorist. I think that's about it, really.
Nice. And next up is Ingolf.
Yeah, I'm Ingolf. I'm playing a guy called Ro, who we don't know so much about. He was in some kind of lab. He has no clue about the outside world, and he is very fond of jellyfish.
Yes, he is. And next up is Jeffrey.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, and I'm playing John Matrix, TV nut, and sometimes He-Man wannabe.
Yes. And last but not least is Brent.
I am playing Mark Edwards, a grizzled old soldier turned security guard.
Nice. So where we're going to pick up, guys, is really where we left last time. So let's first off situate ourselves for what happened in our last episode, Orphans and Jellyfish. No one jump on that too quickly. Anybody?
We went to Vegas.
Not me.
We went shopping in Vegas, which is part of it. And does anyone want to describe the grizzled crime scene we went?
How about let's assume you're describing it to someone who has never watched the first episode. What happened last session?
Well, last time we broke out Ro from his lab.
Yeah.
Took him back to my fellow conspiracy mate's base in a sort of a disused shop, arcade actually, in one of the disused areas of Las Vegas, only to find that my friends had all been killed.
Yeah.
And they're completely trashed. We then decided, we then get a lead for maybe one of the conspiracy group's cyber contacts who lives in Mendocino, and we decided to hurriedly leave town in a spare SUV.
Yeah.
That the conspiracy group has. It's been like de-anonymized. We also did some shopping for ammo, guns, and a laptop.
Yeah, I'll be right back, guys. I got a excitable puppy. You guys keep talking amongst yourselves.
All right. So we had a road trip to Mendocino and ended up in a hotel that was used for
I think Murder
She Wrote.
Yeah.
With a few brief incidents on the way where we had to stop Ro talking to the fish tank in a shop. When we stopped at the gas station.
Yeah.
So really, we have just arrived in California in order to contact our guy who gave our conspiracy group tips. In fact, gave us the tip that led to finding Ro and John. And I'm trying to vamp.
Yeah.
And I assume we have literally just done a 12, 14-hour drive, looking up how far driving from Las Vegas to California is.
Right. I think we just checked into a hotel where some people were chilling, and a couple of people, I think the two of us were the ones who were doing sort of like a perimeter search or whatever.
I think the hotel was considered, it was quite good because it's quite away from everyone else, so it would be quite easy to secure.
Yeah. Well, here, let me bring you over to the. I got you over there. That's right. Here we go.
And I have something to add, I think, about the Grizzly attack. Wasn't John recognize some of
Oh,
the
yes, you did, yeah.
handiwork of the villains from his universe?
That's right, because we opened
Or
up...
he wouldn't term it that way, but
Yeah, we opened with this scene in our session.
yeah. The demons.
Yeah. So, where we left things off...
So there was actually, it was the same guy that rescued John and his sister, who was conducting the experiments on Ro.
That's correct.
And we found that out because, according to my description, you recognize the guy. So
Yeah.
or the other way around. So
Yeah.
we know that.
Yeah, and then when you knew him, Ro, he also always wore sunglasses. That was not the case when John met him, when he was a kid at least. I think as an adult, John, you would have known that that man also always wore glasses. Sunglasses. So,
Right.
where we last, I think when we left things off, was with Ro in the washroom, and this large drifting jellyfish appeared in the mirror. And do you remember what he said to you, or what it said to you?
I'm sorry, no.
No? I believe what it said is to come home.
For me to come home, or they come home?
For you to come home.
Yes.
So we're gonna pick up with that scene. So you were in. You guys have checked in. You guys had divided up into two different groups. Two of you were staying in one room. Two of you were staying in an adjoining room in the Hill House at Cabot Cove. So that's the place right here, guys.
And I think that two of us went to sort of do like a perimeter scan, see what our sight lines and all that, that type of stuff.
Yeah, so that's probably Mark and John who would be doing that. Maybe Amber as well. Do you remember who were? I think was it Amber and Mark that were doubled up, and then John and Ro that were doubled up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Right, because John was the one who was kind of protecting, or serving as a protector for Ro. Let me just put this stuff in the proper layer here. So there we go. All right. So guys, Ro, you can see this thing drifting in front of you. Now, we haven't talked about this before, but what do you think that Ro calls these things, or the one thing that he had been linked to? Does he have a name for it? Is it just an impression that he has of it? Is it something that is such an intimate connection that he never thought to give it a name, or what?
Yeah, maybe he just calls them they or them, and just read.
Okay. So you're aware that there are more than one of them, but there's one that you've had a very special connection with.
Oh yeah.
And that's the one that is drifting before you right now. And why don't you describe for us, what is it that Ro is seeing in the mirror, staring back at him, as it were?
So,
It has no
if
eyes.
it's staring. I mean, it's a rather gigantic jellyfish. I mean, in the mirror you can see. I mean, it's shrink in size just to fit in the mirror.
Yep.
And for him, it's just the perfect embodiment of fluid motion. So you cannot understand something that is moving in a more fluid and natural way than jellyfish creatures.
Okay. So it's slowly kind of undulating in the thing. It's almost as if it sounds like the mirror would seem like a window looking out at part of this enormous thing. So it's drifting there, and it says, I'm describing it as saying, but it's obviously something you're hearing in your mind. It has no mouth, so you once again can feel it speaking to you and says, "Come home, Ro."
So I would just, I wouldn't say, but think very clearly how.
He says, or it says, they are looking allow yourself to be found, and we can be together again.
Okay.
And it's still drifting there. The lights kind of flicker in the bathroom.
Yeah.
John, would you give me a perception sight? What is it here? No, perception awareness. No, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong fucking game. Jeez. Where's the list of foci? Yeah, give me a perception seeing check, please. Are you in the... Well, hold on, John, are you in the room? Do you think? Are you hanging out in the room, or did you... Because we said last time...
I would be watching TV.
Okay, so I'm going to put the DC a little higher, or target number a little
I'd be
higher.
sitting on the bed watching TV.
Yeah, go ahead and give us a seeing check. I'm going to set the target number at 13. So if you don't have the focus, you just roll perception.
Oh, okay. Does it work to just click on it?
Okay, so the total is 13, actually. Hold on, is that right? No, 11. Okay. It's kind of frustrating it doesn't total it, too.
I know.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
That would be nice. So, then, that is a double, though. You would have generated stunt points if you succeeded. So, I think you're distracted. What do you think's on TV? If we cut back to the two beds in the common room, and you've got something on TV that's completely got your attention.
I think that the hotel has some kind of a special, I don't know, Murder, She Wrote. Is that what it was supposed to be, right?
Yes.
Channel, and he's just like immediately like sunk into the show.
Jessica Fletcher is so smart.
Yeah.
Okay, so we cut back to the... You don't notice that the lights are flickering around you. The TV kind of flickers for a second, and you just hit the remote, and then it go back to watching your show. So we're back in the bathroom now. Ro, what do you say in response? And I guess one thing to consider is, why did he flee in the first place?
Yeah. He says something like, "I will not go there first. I will come to you, but not with them."
And he says, it kind of drifts a bit. There's flickering of light again. And he says, "Their way is to me. Turn, come home. We can be together again. And do such glorious things." Would you give me a willpower and either morale or courage check, please?
I will do willpower. So, that's
6,
not so
10,
good.
13. Okay. So, there is... I don't think you rolled... I mean, for one, you didn't quite roll well enough. But also, you didn't roll well enough to pick up... You didn't get a stunt out of this either, so I don't think that you got a... you're not getting insight. There is a flash of insight that you have into this thing's mind. And you can't picture what it is. Imagine the sensation of... It's not, because of the nature of the psychic connection, it's not just that you're seeing things, you are feeling and hearing and smelling the sensation that this thing, and then also some senses that this thing has that you have no frame of reference for describing. But whatever it is, it hits your system like a shock, and you suddenly feel freezing. You're 10 degrees colder than what you were, and you're currently at a 1 degree of fear. So what this means is that you're going to gain +1 to perception tests, but -1 to intelligence tests. And you actually stagger a bit back, and you kind of dunk, up against the tub in the hotel bathroom behind you. What do you say in response?
I will not come then.
No. And the lights are now really kind of flickering and going on and off. You must. Linked we are. And you can feel your Your heart is pounding, and there's some kind of endorphins that are chasing through your body. But what we see as well is, in response, there is now ice forming, like as if, as if it was suddenly wintertime. There's ice beginning to form around the edges of the mirror. There are any metal surface is beginning to get that white rime on it. You are losing control of your powers right now.
Oh.
What happens next?
So I suck the heat out of the environment. I can do that.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening, is you realize that you're tapping into this without really realizing that's happening.
Yeah, I think I can do that, and maybe also it will get misty because I can the air around me floats with these ice crystals.
Love it. Yeah. So it's almost like it's snowing inside this
Yeah.
the bathroom right now too. What do you say?
No, I will never go back there. They hurt me.
You don't know hurt. And I think I'm going to make an attack against you. Hold on here.
Yeah, okay.
So what is your, I think my target number is going to be your willpower. Let's see here.
Yeah, so my willpower is 4.
It's 4. Okay, so I think it means it's a 14 then for my target number. I think most of these are 10 plus. Yeah. Do you have any, and you don't have a power focus in your psychic abilities?
Cryogenesis, so I mean...
Do you have a focus in that now?
Yes.
Nice. Okay, so I'll let you apply that to as a defense. And let's see here. So I'm going to make my roll. What's going to be my stunt dice here? Stunt dice will be my toxic green one here. Let's see. So I got a total of 14. Does that beat your willpower plus your focus plus 10?
Nope.
Nice. So this thing is, it's what has up until this point, like, or what you remember before, for the most part, is a kind of like a lovingly psychic caress, almost, where you can feel its presence like a warm blanket in your mind. It now feels like tendrils tightening in there, but your force of will is strong enough to resist this thing. If you choose, you can break the psychic connection now.
Yeah, I would do that. So
Okay.
It wants to hurt me, so I will.
So that's going to be a pretty dramatic. There's going to be a dramatic manifestation of that. What do you think happens in the bathroom as you break this thing anew?
Yeah, I think so. The thing would be, so there is this mirror, and it was already covered in ice, and now it breaks. It's
Nice. So John, you're watching the show, and you hear the sound of breaking glass coming from the bathroom.
Oh shit! So I jump up from the bed and grab my sword.
Yeah.
And run to the bathroom door. What's going on, Ro?
So Rose, you're standing there, broken glass in front of you. There's one or two of the lights fixtures that are broken. One of them is kind of flickering still, and everywhere is covered in a light layer of snow.
Did you smash the window, the mirror? Where did all this snow come from?
It's still snowing in here,
snow
I
was
think, as
me.
well.
Oh, it's still snowing.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on in here?
I think they found me.
Who's they?
I make a gesture of things floating somewhere.
You've heard him talking about some really weird stuff in the drive from the Nevada desert into Vegas and then out to here as well. So
Right.
Yeah.
I'm still confused.
Yeah.
I'll take him out of the bathroom,
Okay.
guide him to the bed, and say, just sit here, watch this good show. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go find Mark and Amber.
Okay. So what I'd like you to do, Ro, is would you give me a perception check, please? And I'll let you use your cryokinesis focus on this.
Oh, so yeah, I don't know how to roll that. I roll perception. And since I'm feared, I also get +1 and then +2.
Yes, you do. That's right. Yeah. Okay.
So +3. So
Plus
this is,
3, so that's 5, 11, 16, 17. Holy shit. Okay, so no focuses, but that's really great. You don't think... you think that you pushed them away before he could really sense where you are. You think. You're fairly confident of that.
Yeah. Maybe they did not found me. Maybe I was fast enough.
Yeah. So you're just sitting there in the living... John has gone out the door, I think not the one that leads into the hotel, but the one that leads outside to the grounds. So the door is open. There's this beautiful sun, and hot weather that's coming in from in there. But the room itself, I think you've carried over the cold. So it's almost like, when you open a freezer door. So the door opens and John runs out, and then there's a bunch of condensation that kind of drifts out of the room because it's so cold in the room at this point. John, I'll say Amber and Mark. Where does John find you guys? You've got at the very bottom there. Oh, sorry, there's at the bottom. There's that. Oops, I'm moving Amber. Whoop. There's the kind of bird's eye view of what Hill House looks like.
Right. Okay. So. Yeah. So I guess are we on the second floor there? And that
main floor.
Main floor.
You're on the main floor on one of the rooms that has entrances leading out to the to the motel style out to the parking lot, and then also one that leads inside the hotel.
Okay. I guess Mark would probably be outside. He just wanted to sort of look on top of the hill, just see, just sort of see what there is. Take a perimeter search, see what the sight lines are, that type of thing.
Okay. So what you're seeing is this is a tourist town in the height of tourist season. So it's while you're going along. I'm assuming you've got your handgun with you. You're checking this stuff, and it's just it's couples that are on vacation. It's families that are on vacation. It's the weather is gorgeous. The sun is shining. The breeze is wonderful. The sound of the ocean can be carried, and the smell of that salty smell of the ocean can come into. But your mind is where?
It is partially here, trying to take in the tactical, and partially going, what the hell is going on? There's not only is it just sort of like I'm involved in a bunch of crap, I'm involved in crap that seems supernatural or stuff that shouldn't actually be existing. And given my character's background, I don't think he's had any experience with crazy weirdness.
No, yeah, this is
and to be honest, the people I'm with are strange. Not like your military buddy or the person in your platoon who's just slightly off or believes in the earth is flat. But these people are they've been saying some weird stuff.
Yeah. So probably the most normal of your companions then kind of walks up. And Mo, what's Amber been doing while Mark's been been kind of also helping to kind of secure the location or whatever?
Well, after setting up the sort of laptop, checking the room and stuff, she's probably going to have a quick soak to get rid of the blood of the friends.
Yeah.
And into basically more civilian stuff: jeans, t-shirt, black leather jacket. And then she's actually starting to think about getting some actual food because we've been on the road for about.
So let's say that Amber walks up, in the room. Her hair pulled back in. So Mark's still outside. Amber's out now. Her hair's pulled back. It's so wet from getting cleaned up, and maybe suggest that we need to eat. Well, we'll pick up the scene from there. So what do you guys say?
Well, I come up and say, well, I think we need to go and get something to eat. We're all famished. So where is everyone?
I think the other two in their room, and I'll point we can probably see something from up then. There's somewhere close here that we can grab without having to stray far.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go get the others.
And I think that's when you see John is coming towards. And what does everyone see, Jeff, as John is making his way towards Mark and Amber?
He's sort of frantically walking up, and maybe he's trying to like hide his sword, like trying to like
Be inconspicuous with his
be
two-handed sword.
inconspicuous that he's carrying this big sword.
Okay.
Put that thing away.
There is trouble. Something has happened in the room. Quick.
Okay. And
Shit.
you can't
Okay.
you can't be walking. So we'll go with them. But I'll be like, you can't be walking around with that thing.
Okay. While he's doing that, Amber's
Yeah.
going to go into the room first, quick to see what's happening.
Sure.
Okay.
So all three of you notice, I mean, John knew this from beforehand, but Mark and Amber, you walk in there, and the first thought is like, what the fuck? Why did he crank the AC in here? Because it's freezing in here. It's like maybe 10 degrees Celsius. I think it's the first time I've had to not translate into Fahrenheit. Everyone's in Celsius.
Sorry, I'm socially still Imperial.
Oh, you guys are Imperial?
No, for social stuff like miles, pints,
Oh, yeah.
temperature, I'm still old enough so that I have to. I don't mentally
So
translate
I
very
think
well.
I think 20 is like 74-ish.
Yeah, it's
so,
about 50.
So 10 is, yeah. All right, so you guys walk in, and what happens then?
So what are we seeing? So Rose presumably
Yeah.
sitting on the bed. Is he just sitting there?
Yeah, I
No,
think he's
I've gotta come
sitting
in,
on
I've
the
got-
bed and-
We've got the gun half out, saying what's happened.
And John is just like pointing at the mirror, pointing at the bathroom, like
Okay. Is there anything noticeable in the bathroom or a mirror?
Well, if you look in the bathroom, it's been snowing in the bathroom. There's a thin layer of maybe like half an inch of snow everywhere, and the mirror is shattered, and about half of the little like bulb lights that are over the bathroom mirror have been broken as well.
Okay,
See?
so I'm
This.
kind of in disbelief. So Mark will go and run his hand through like the snow to make sure that it's really snow.
Freshly fallen snow.
What the fuck just went on in here?
you tell me. Ro was in the bathroom. I was watching Murder, She Wrote. All of a sudden, this.
And you look
Okay,
at,
Amber's going to look at Ro. Does he look a bit shocked?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Can I use? I've got perception and empathy, so I'm going to try and like calm him down and get him to explain.
Yeah, love that. Go ahead.
Because we've been sort of like yelling what's happening. We're probably freaking him out a bit. Right.
So I think this is the difficulty is going to be pretty high because of I'm going to set it to the same level that he needed to try and make to resist it. So go ahead and make your roll. Nice, you stunned it with 6 points too, if you succeeded. So that's 2, 3, 9, 13. It's not good enough. You're trying to talk to him, but for one, if you take his hands are freezing. Like you'd think he's been walking around in sub-zero temperatures without mittens on. You know, or do you have any? Do you have a focus in medicine at all?
No, I've got the medical technician one, which I think is slightly differently. That allows me to do first aid as a
First aid would be enough. So because
Oh, right, yeah, well-
yeah, like cold hands, like this is a sign of like hypothermia or like shock. So his hands are quite cold. Do you think he may be in shock? I think that's maybe where your mind goes, having not seen the bathroom yet.
Okay. Well, is there a bathrobe comes with the room?
Yeah. So you
know,
walk over to the.
Yeah. I'll get that round him and try and get him to warm up a bit.
So then you see, you go over to the bathroom to grab the bathrobe, and you see this. It's winter inside the bathroom.
Okay. So Amber's a bit shocked, like it's all the conspiracy theories and weirdness is happening.
Yeah.
Okay, well, she's going to go back and put the robe around him just to warm him up. And
How's that
John
help?
is gonna look at Ro.
can I get a whiskey from the minibar or something and like give him a shot of that
Yep.
for shock?
Yep. Absolutely.
May not be traditionally medicine, but you know,
Sure.
here, drink this
Okay.
and tell us what happened. So try and calm him down a bit.
Okay. What are we seeing? Like, what does Ro look like at this point?
Yeah, I think Ro is very much in shock and also in fear, and doesn't know really what what is going on, because he always thought that they were his friends.
Yeah.
But now
This
they
is very
aren't.
much like, it's like a loved, beloved pet suddenly like snapping at you, or a parent suddenly hitting you, who had never laid a hand before.
Yeah. And do I get this really? You gave me alcohol.
Yeah, for shock.
Yeah, and that
That's
is
what-
that is interesting, because that is actually why my weakness. So if I understand that correctly.
Oh well.
So wait a minute, persona.
I actually think
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think that John is asking Ro, who made the snow?
Yeah. I think I would just drink the glass and then say me.
You made the snow.
Yes.
You can make snow?
Yes.
Oh.
Can you do it right now to show us? My flaw is cynicism, and I'm sorry, this
Love
is all
it.
sci-fi shit.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
would you hold on? I think when you use that, let's just quickly refresh our memories with, and by our memories I mean mine, with how you recover conviction, because I think that it's by triggering your flaws is how you get that stuff back, isn't it?
Yeah.
Characters regain expended conviction by doing something in accordance with the different sides of their drive, either their quality or their downfall. So both you guys seems like you've done that, but I think that your conviction is at a max of 3, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, and then
Mine
that
is.
goes up by each odd numbered level. So had you spent conviction, then you would have had a chance to record it. So great job in the role-playing, guys, just you didn't get the mechanical benefit yet. That's awesome. Anyway, carry on. Sorry, I wanted to quickly intrude to remind some game mechanics.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we could have spent that to succeed at our roles probably. Yeah, but nevertheless, so I would. Does Amber have the bottle still with her?
I assumed it was one of these miniatures they have in.
Yeah. But the bar's open
hotel.
now.
Yeah. So I would go there, just grab another bottle, and then open the bottle, drink it, and then try to make it snow again. I mean.
Okay. So let's see here. So let's talk about the first time you've used your powers. So because you were a psychic in the threefold setting, psychics use the power fatigue optional rules from the core rulebook. So first what you need to do is to actually activate your power, which is just a psychic roll. What is it? Willpower plus your psychic focus. What are you trying to do here?
So I could do two things. I mean, I did not know really what the snow effect was. So there's icy mist, which just makes it kind of hard to see. That could be the snow.
Yeah.
Or I could just turn the heat from the surrounding. But icy mist seems to be right.
Okay.
So that would cost me 3 power points.
We're losing our room deposit, totally.
Hmm?
Mo says we're so losing our room deposit.
Yeah.
All right, so to create icy mist, the target number is a 12. So make a check against 12 first. Nice, for sure. Yeah, that's a 16. Excellent. Then what we do is check for the fatigue. So it's the target number is 9 plus 1/2 of the powers listed cost rounded down. It's 3, so rounded down is a 1. So your target number is a 10. Roll 3d6 plus willpower plus power focus against difficulty of 10. Easy peasy. Yeah. So what does it look like? We won't go through this every time. I thought it might be helpful to go through it once. So go ahead and describe for us what do we see?
Yeah, I think he just stands sits absolutely still, just slowly moves his hand a little bit, and then you see like radiating from the hand, it starts to getting colder and colder. and then it starts to snow.
Nice. And in here too, like it feels like you're suddenly standing outside. There's no wind, blowing, so it's not cutting through you, but it's definitely, below zero in the room at this point. Now, it may not shock you to learn that I have been thinking about a house rule for this game. But the house rule is because one of the things that I like in the Threefold book is it introduces something that was from the Fantasy Age Companion, which is basically like cantrips for Arcana. So it's basically like little minor abilities you can use if you've got the magic kind of version. Arcana in the setting is that. They call them Lesser Arcana. And what it is you get, wow, let's see here, basically one for each degree of power you have. And there's specific listings for them too, but rather than doing that, because I like the idea of Arcana being different from Psychics, but what I'm thinking is that you will be able to freely manifest, like Ingolf, if you want to add a little flourish from some small minor, like non-attack, non-modifier, no mechanical penalties or whatnot, but some little thing like cooling a drink or something like that, you feel free to do that.
Yeah, okay.
Because I think that'd be a cool way of allowing, that's not trying to create some massive effect, but I like the idea of you being able to improvise some cool little cryokinetic stuff, at a moment's notice. So how does everyone react to this? Sort of back in the scene here, the room is now freezing and there's snow falling on the beds in here.
Mark sort of mumbled,
Okay, that's...
fuck
what,
me,
Brent,
and then
hold on, let's do this. Why don't you give me a willpower plus either courage or morale?
All right.
And let me think here.
I don't have either of those, so I will just give you a willpower.
Yeah, and Amber, you don't have to, you're so used to being around weird shit, and John, you come from a fantasy world. So 13. So that's that hits a challenging level, and I think that's enough. What I was getting you to roll, Brent, is against fear.
Okay.
So, but you've just hit the number that you needed to get this. So how does Mark? He's not terrified by this or whatever. What's the reaction we see from him?
Just I kind of like mumble off, well, fuck me, and it just sort of, I'm just taking it in because it's sort of, I'm just seeing something that I would never have believed in or never considered existed or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's more like a huh. And it's just sort of like processing it.
Okay, so you're looking around as this snow is falling down. Amber, your head is really cold because your hair's still wet, but you can kind of put your hands out and they're small, as these snowflakes are hitting your hand, they're melting. And John, how are you reacting to this?
I think he's just like a little bit of almost like glee, like, ooh, this is so cool. Maybe he's making snowballs or, like he's probably never really spent time with snow, so he's doing things he's seen on TV.
Yeah. He throws himself on the bed and makes a snow angel.
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
He's basically playing in the snow.
Okay. What happens next, guys?
Why didn't you tell me you had such an amazing ability? We could have been playing with this snow the whole time?
Amber's looking a bit concerned. Look, did they do experiments on you and put
you could
alien
see,
stuff in you to make you do this?
You could see that there
she's
was
like really into conspiracy theories.
Hold on, Mo. You can see that on the back of his head, his hair is still growing in right now. There's clear places where like wires and shit would have been attached. He clearly has the evidence of like some kind of surgical procedure.
Okay, Amber's feeling a bit sick at this. Because Ro's quite young, isn't he? So it's almost like he's an abused child, almost, from her point of view. Okay, well, I think we know you can do snow. Can you make it go away? but not set things on fire.
I think I can just make it stop snowing. I think the effect lasts for a minute, if I remember correctly.
That's it, probably
but I can, and I think I can just stop it from snowing more.
Yeah.
So.
So the room is covered in a light layer of snow at this point. I mean, not like a huge. It's not like a, you know, it's probably about the same level as what was in the bathroom, maybe a little less. It's like 1/4 inch of snow everywhere. And John, I mean, it sounds like you are.
No, I'm sorry. It's just if I wanted to make damage, it's 4 rounds.
Okay,
so it's just rather short.
Okay, so it stops, and you've just got like soggy floor and a wet bed at this point. So
Okay.
I was told to do so.
yeah.
That was amazing. Now he looks at Amber. Amber, what can you do?
I don't know where you two come from, but round here we're just humans. I mean,
You can't. He looks at Mark. You. What about you?
Me, son? I can get a drink. I go to the mini bar and grab myself something.
yeah, one for me as well, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, oh, I thought for a minute there maybe we were the X-Men or something.
Sorry? I don't think Mark would be familiar with comics. Well,
No.
I guess they're all the movies, so yeah, he'd...
You know,
Yeah.
kids show on TV. Iceman. He's pointing at Ro.
He certainly is an Iceman.
Okay, so Amber and Mark have drinks. Do you bother to put them in glasses, or is it right out of the bottle? The mini
At this
bottle.
point, it's right out of the bottle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Though I assume it's probably a premixed G&T or something like that.
yeah.
John goes to the the little notepad that they always have in hotel rooms and the hotel pen, and he takes the thing and he says, "Shows to show my friends," and he puts #1 X-Men.
Okay. The slightly soggy newspaper. Maybe it's in the drawer. You know, you can pull it out of the drawer.
Yeah, pulls it out of the drawer.
Yeah.
So if there's a moment of quiet when nobody is talking, Ro would say, "They want me to come back.
What the?
They told me to come back."
Who are they?
Who are they?
And
That's
I
what I
do this
said.
gesture again. So, like when we were stopping, there were small ones.
So Amber, I think you were there for that. You would remember.
Yes, I tried to get him away from causing us. You mean the big jellyfish that ran that lab? She's trying to come to
Yes.
grips, or
Yes,
oh,
jellyfish. Yes, jellyfish.
I think we
They
need to
are
get hold of
jellyfish.
our contact and see what he knows, because
So let's refresh
me
things.
and Mark are in the dark here.
The contact. Well, what do you guys remember about why you were in Mendocino in the first place?
We had a cyber contact, and he was anonymous.
Yep.
We knew we did track him down to Mendocino because apparently there was someone with his, I presume, handle arrested years ago.
That's right.
And the records have been deleted, but we felt that the physical paper records would still be in the sheriff's office.
Yep. That was
Which is about
Darkmaster73.
30 miles away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And he tipped my group off, which is how I came to break in, I suppose.
That's right. Yep.
And kick this whole thing off. So, so do they have implants in you, Ro? And she sort of looks at his head and tries to see if there's any.
I don't know.
If you take a look, you got. I don't think you need to roll for this because you can just see. If you want to try and gain more information about what the stuff is, you can make a roll. It's going to be pretty high because it's going to be very unusual technology. But you know, I wouldn't use that to stop you from rolling. Try rolling because if.
Well, let me try.
Yeah, because I mean, this is why I love role-playing games. It's like, fuck, I didn't think that was going to happen. All right, let's see. So you can use your focus for first aid. Because, is there a focus for, let's see here. Yeah, there is a focus for medicine.
Yeah, I didn't take that. I just took the emergency care one.
Okay.
Because I wanted to lean more into what a conspiracy
Hold
person
on.
might have.
I'm saying focus, and you're saying emergency care. Is emergency care a talent?
Emergency care is a talent.
Is the talent called emergency care?
Yes.
Okay, that's not what I'm asking
Character
about.
sheet.
Remember, talents give you different abilities that other people don't have. Focuses are the specific things, like,
Okay.
you know, ways that you're specialized for your attributes.
Oh no, in that case it's not.
Okay,
I
so you, and
don't
you don't
know.
have any focus for. I see medicine is one of the focuses. That appears to be the only one that's actually related to healing whatsoever or whatever. So I think that you've got just an instinctive way of
It would
treating
be-
people, right?
Yeah, so it's intelligence medicine as a focus, which I didn't take.
I think, yeah, so you know what, I don't think you're going to, there are, so this is just for a game mechanic thing, there are some times where certain tasks will be gate kept behind a focus, so you need a focus in order to engage in that.
Okay.
The reason I mention that is because when I anticipate we're probably going to get into these things called advanced tests, which are kind of like skill challenges from D&D 4th. And those things are sometimes gate kept behind certain focuses. You need certain focuses to engage in them, and for other ones, it just means that certain focuses will be higher target number than others. Some will be more effective at trying to generate all those successes. So then I think getting back to the scene again, Amber, you're sort of like looking back, and what you can see is it honestly looks like the kind of like older types of like headphone jacks or things like that, where you kind of plunk a long wire inside. It looks like there's some of those things at the base of Ro's skull. Yeah, something like that, exactly. Not quite as big, much smaller, but that's what it looks like, and you can't make heads or tails out of that. Maybe it's just a weird, like, well, no, it's for sure that. And Ro, I don't think that's particularly comfortable if she's poking at it for you.
Okay, well I'll
Doesn't
I'll
cause
lean back.
pain
Sorry.
necessarily, it's uncomfortable.
Stop that.
What is that?
Okay, I'll pat him and calm down. Right.
Can we like jack into Ro?
Yeah. Question is, have we taken the red or the blue pill at this point?
What can we plug into him?
Does anybody have, I mean, I'm assuming Ro's not going to let you do that. Does anyone have electronics as a focus? No?
No.
Okay.
Not
This
John.
is not in Mark's wheelhouse whatsoever.
No. I mean, like, I think that the Amber is likely young enough and familiar enough with, like, headphones and whatnot. This is thinner than what a headphone jack would be. Like a set of headphones or whatever. But I don't think you have enough knowledge to be able to figure out what might plug into there. Plus, who knows what happens when you plug stuff into Ro.
Yeah, I'd imagine it. Well, I haven't got one here. More like a optical spidiff or something like that. Okay. I don't know. Say, John. I know you've got resources. Could we take Ro to a clinic and get him scanned? Sorry, just to check you out. But anyway, I think we need to order room service and go to the other room and just have something to eat.
Does anybody have, let's see here, medicine or, I mean anybody here, or engineering or physics?
Nope.
No, okay.
You're
isn't
talking to
GURPS.
the wrong crew.
Yeah.
We don't know anything about it.
Yes.
I've
This
got
isn't GURPS
punching
where you
and
have like
punching really hard.
Okay.
We are all looking at these things like, I think that what John would say is, I don't know, maybe Radio Shack could help us.
Yeah. Radio show.
yeah. Amber gives him the look as they went bust 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Have they gone bust? I can't remember. I know they did in the UK, but I think
They did. No,
Yeah,
North America
they
as
are
well.
gone here too.
Yeah.
No.
There's no more Radio Shacks.
Oh yeah, they're called the Source now here.
I need a bunch of
Oh.
those closed as well.
How would you get help for stuff like this?
Yeah. So Ro is a little bit puzzled that no one seems to care about whoever is coming. So he just looks. He looks around and.
Well, you mean the men
But
in
if
the
you
lab?
mention that again, sorry, I tuned out. Not me, the person, but that my character would have tuned out when you were talking about people coming. because he had been busy looking at the snow. But if you start mentioning it again, he might pay more attention now that you made it snow in front of him.
Yeah. They want me to come, and they talk to me there, and I point at the mirror, or at the rest of the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
How?
And they're coming here to the hotel?
Through the mirror?
They came to the mirror, yeah. To the mirror.
And they come through the mirror?
They tried.
And you stopped them?
I hope.
As far as you know, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope yes.
You don't
Okay.
feel that either the constricting sensation or the warm blanket sensation, that's gone altogether again.
Yeah.
Just like it had been until that thing manifested it in the mirror.
Yeah.
Are you saying this place is safe then, kid?
Maybe for now.
Just don't look in any mirrors.
Yeah.
Is
Maybe
there,
we
okay,
go
I'm gonna
around
look
and cover
around the
up
room.
cover
How
up the
many
mirrors.
mirrors are there?
One at a time, guys.
Yeah.
Mo, go ahead.
Oh, in that case, we better cover up all the mirrors.
Okay. Brent, what were you saying?
I think they were saying
same
same
thing. I
thing.
was just saying remove the mirrors. He's gonna cover them. I was gonna pull them off and take them out of the room.
Okay. Sure.
We've already done enough damage. To
Yeah, and this place,
rooms.
you know what, like the fortunate thing with this staying in such an old place, this isn't in the kind of like, you know, prefab hotel where everything's mounted on the wall. So you're easily able to do that. We see, you know, outside there's this lovely, like, you know, kind of deck or like deck chair, and we can see this stack of ever-growing stack of mirrors being laid out there. So there's maybe some other couple that's walking past, and they see you walk out, putting the mirrors down. What do? You do anything in response, or just ignore them?
I'll smile and say, "Yeah, good afternoon."
Okay, they kind of like, oh, you know what, fuck it, let's see what the dice say. Give us a communication check. Do you have any focus that might apply, you think?
You know what? I would almost rather, based on, because I'm like I'd probably look based on maybe an intimidating check would be more. There's a big, huge dude moving mirrors around.
Yeah. So I think that is,
I think that's a strength, but let me just double check.
is it? Strength. Yeah, strength is intimidation. No, overwhelm others with a physical presence and threat. So I think for that to apply, Brent, you would have to like put it down and then move towards them in a threatening way. Like, what? What the fuck are you looking at? And they'd go off. You can do that, totally. Like, don't not do that if that's what you're thinking.
I'll just sort of like, they're looking at me and I'll put it down and just leave because I'm on the balcony, right? Or the,
Yeah.
I just look over them and I'm like, what?
Nice, go ahead and give us an intimidation check. Okay, so that's 10, 13. Yeah, so they kind of, the woman kind of grabs her purse and her and her husband go scampering off in, you know, search of whatever it is that they're looking for. I think one of the other characters sees Mark do this. Who do you think that is?
Well, I think Amber's going to say, well, just pretend you're the janitor. You're moving stuff around.
So Mark looks back and he sees...
Mark looks more like a janitor.
Yeah. All right. So the mirrors have all been cleared out. Is it from both rooms, guys, or just one?
I think just from this one.
Yeah.
Okay. So the room is now secured, if a little moist. What happens next? I think it's probably getting closer to evening at this point, too. And once you guys have a moment to stop, Amber, again, like your stomach is growling. Like you realize it's been maybe 20 hours since you guys ate. At least that long since you slept.
Yeah, I'm going to suggest we have something to eat, get a good night's sleep, and then we
great
go and
idea.
find this guy's address records. Or this, we don't know if it's a guy or a girl. Presumably, it was all electronic or used a voice manipulator if we ever spoke to him.
Did not speak to him, only online.
No,
That's why you only know this person as Darkmaster73.
Well, I guess let's go grab food.
I
I
guess,
saw a place new.
Would that be Schwarzmeister?
Schwarzmeister. So my T-shirt says Darkmaster73 right now. But...
Awesome. So, what happens next, guys?
Food.
Yeah, food for sure.
So what are you thinking? What does that mean? Does that mean going out for food? Does it mean getting takeaways? Does it get order in? What do you think? There probably is a dining room in the hotel as well too. But this is a tourist town, so like anything you can think of, from fine dining down to like shitty takeaway pizza, it's all available.
Well, based on the fact that people are looking for us and weird shit keeps happening around us, maybe it's best if we just order in some pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Pizza and Murder, She Wrote it is.
Okay,
Turns the
Amber
TV
fires up
back
the
on.
laptop and starts looking for.
Well, it's a hotel,
Yeah,
so
also
there's going to be. You pop open the book with the like local
yeah.
guides, and you're going to be able to find that. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll.
It's also.
Go ahead.
It would also be a bit late to go to the main restaurant, because if we're like 10:30, 11, they'll have. They
Oh,
won't
it's
be
only
serving anymore.
afternoon at this point.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you
yeah.
meant it was early evening. Well, we could order in from room service, or
John
Did
seems
Presumably
you
they're
want
okay
to
with-
find someone?
well, let me. Amber quickly fires up the laptop and has a look at Google Maps.
okay. What's she looking for?
Food places.
Well, again, like if you're in a hotel room, there's going to be a thing
Yeah.
that has local.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it has all the lists of all the local stuff you could order, so you can find a pizza joint that you could order from. I think we'll cut to. It's a little later. The
Yeah.
sun is actually fairly low out over the Pacific Ocean at this point. There's a kid who's delivering the pizzas who's looking down at the stack of mirrors, and then the door opens up, and John is kind of like, "Ha!" grabs the pizzas, hands money to the kid.
Pizza!
Yeah. Oh, it's your. You know what? You probably got something like a black, Amex Black or something like that as your way of paying. Because this is like.
Yeah, right.
So would you pay that way, or would you pay with cash? You think? I'm fine with either.
I think he's just got big stacks of cash that he's carrying
Sure.
around.
So he hands like $300 to the kid. He's like, "There you go," and brings it inside. The
Tip.
kid kind of looks at the money and then turns and walks away. So let's say we'll cut the scene with all of you guys. You're passing up pizza, you're having your pop and whatever else to drink or booze, if as the case may be. Now it's that scene where you guys have been talking about what you plan on doing tomorrow or later tonight. I think you're at the point where you do need some sleep as well too. You may be subject to some exhaustion if you're going to plan on going, or at least some potential for exhaustion if you're going to power through tonight. So what are you guys thinking?
No, let's get some rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that the physical records are held. We think they're held at the local courthouse, I presume, which I think actually, from googling it, is actually a few miles away from Mendocino.
Well, so
If we're going to the county one.
this one's going to be in Mendocino.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
again,
I think,
like the what do you call it? Our depiction of the real world is going to be the TV equivalent.
Yeah.
We're going to repurpose, like, wow, so many American cities looking awful lot like Toronto. So it is in town. It's sort of like you can picture it like being a low one-story kind of like concrete structure. It's this kind of thing that would have been like maybe rebuilt in the 60s or 70s, and it hasn't really been touched up further since then.
So I assume that me and Mark would know about freedom of information. I assume are court records publicly available?
It's not the court records; it's the arrest records.
Oh, the arrest records, are they available? Because I couldn't just walk into it in the
Nope.
UK. Are they like?
Nope.
So we've got to try and like smooth our way in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you got to find some
So-
way of getting in at least. So let's just maybe quickly talk about what the mechanics will be of this, because like the game, it does not, this isn't going to be you walking up to a window and making a certain check or whatnot. The game abstracts this kind of stuff as what's called an advanced test, and for this particular advanced test, what we'll be doing is, let me see here.
Wait a minute.
Sure.
Are we is it about how we get into this police thing?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So what it is,
I could just.
well, let's just talk about the rules first, and then we can talk about what the narrative things are going to be. So this is a sub mechanic called breaching, It's one kind of advanced test. What it is we set an increment of time for how often you get to make a skill check. Only one person makes a skill check, but you can have, depending on what you're doing, it can be that force multiplier thing where you get to add all of your successes together, or it's the insight where you take the best result as long as everyone has a focus in it. There's a success threshold, which is we count your stunt dice up until the point where you reach that, then you've succeeded. And there are, when you get a failure from the result, there are tiers that will trigger that are progressively worse, that are the consequences of failing the checks. The skills you can use for this one include dexterity, sabotage, dexterity, stealth, and intelligence security. And I think I'd also, if you take more of a social engineering approach, I would allow communication, persuasion to go a little far. In that, maybe one success with that. And then I'm open to other suggestions from you guys for what you might want to try. So that's the game mechanics side of this stuff. And then what we'll do is, as you're rolling through the challenge, we'll just describe it abstractly. Does that make sense?
Okay, so one thought is we break in at night, and after casing the joint, obviously, I was thinking I could go and pretend to be a tourist looking for information, and use the make an entrance side of things. But then maybe if one or two of us sneak in, try and abstract the records while the others act as sort of getaway drivers. Unless you want to try and forge credentials and just say, oh yeah, we're Agent Black from the FBI and we need to look at your records. I'm just trying to think of the gag the supernatural people used to do. It was always
so normally
it's always rock musicians. So I was thinking maybe try and break in the evening.
Okay.
Or
hold on, Mo. Ingolf, what were you going to say?
What does anyone else think?
So normally it's rather hot here, so everything is air conditioned, right?
Yep.
So we could do the same thing I just did in the hotel room, and Mark has his janitor face, and he will be just ready to repair the air conditioning. And while everyone is busy, rescuing the documents from snow, someone could just look at the papers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could get some jumpsuits with a pretend company name on.
So you guys understand how we're going to roll out this as well, too. I do this in, to be honest, most other games as well, but each roll will then kind of move the narration forward a little further, and then you guys will do the other one. So, in this case, you can think of it like a series of cutscenes as well as a focused scene as well. So, if you want to do that, say, go with Ingolf's plan, what you could do first is figure out, well, what would the role be to obtain the janitor's uniform and for an AC business. I don't think it's unreasonable to think that a small town like this has some AC thing that's going around in the middle of summer servicing people's broken AC units. So then what do you think that role would be? And then that might contribute towards the success. So, that's how we're going to break up the steps towards you guys getting a success. And then if you get failures, we'll go through the tier and we'll incorporate that into the fiction as well.
Or we can use the internet to find local businesses.
Well, that would get you towards the point of identifying what thing to do, but getting in and stealing it. That's where the dice rolling is going to happen.
I was thinking we just order some uniforms off Amazon and just fake up some IDs and just say, oh yeah, our van's broken, so we're using this rental one. Okay,
so the dice rolling there would be faking up IDs. Does anyone have any focus relating to that kind of stuff or materials? I'm assuming not materials right now, so.
Not really.
I'm happy to break in. That's not. I just wanted to to have us a little bit more
No,
options.
And I'm not saying that that's the only way to go in. I just want to make sure you guys understand how the advanced test is going to kind of work going forward, because it's really the thing that's kind of cool about this is it's your opportunity to really try and like in debating they call it squirreling the problem, where you try and be like, well, I don't know anything about this fucking thing, but I'm going to twist it to start talking about the thing I do know a lot about, and then that's going to be the, you know, for you guys, it's making the problem fit where your focuses and your actual abilities are.
Yep.
So what do you think, Brent and Jeff? What do you think about the plans here?
Yeah, I can play the guy who lifts heavy stuff and carries it in and is grumpy.
And then once you're in, what do you think? Like, what's the...
That's beyond my wheelhouse. That's someone else's skill set.
Yeah, like the thing that John could do is create. I mean, we could create a distraction. That's about it.
Yeah.
I don't know what else we're good for. Like, so we could start a fight in the police station and
get yourself arrested.
Well, I mean, not if neither of us choose to press charges. We don't necessarily, like, if we're fighting each other. If we get in a scuffle, and then they have to sort of break it up, and then we choose not to press charges against each other. While Amber or whatever is trying to get the information.
Okay.
What if Amber and I go in as repair people, and then I fiddle around with the air conditioner, and Amber sneaks off to do whatever it is she can do to get the information?
Yeah, I mean, we could try that.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't really want people's faces in the police records at all, even if they don't press charges.
Right.
Yeah, being my paranoid conspiracy.
Right,
we could.
Okay. Then what do you need John to do? Protect Roe?
Well, presumably
you could be our lookout and driver.
Well, presumably Roe's going to be. He can do this externally.
Yep. I'm picturing like there's an AC unit probably on the roof.
Yeah.
So if you can get access to it, then
if Roe and you're in the van, we can then go in and almost just try and like bluff our way through. Okay. I would say, yeah, you've had a problem. We're actually Amber's thinking. We need someone with a bit more electronics. We could have just hacked the system and like interrupted the call. But that's. Yeah, I think that's an idea. Obviously, what we might have to do is disguise ourselves, because Amber has already thought about getting a wig or hair dye, because she's got quite a distinct look at the moment.
Yeah.
But we can get basic cleaners' uniforms, and because they aren't really, they're not like a passport or anything. All they are is a bit of plastic with Joe Blogg's air conditioning company. We can get their logos and fake them fairly easily. And obviously, presumably if Roe can really make it a serious effect, like where you are getting snow and ice and weird stuff happening, if we turn up, they're going to say, yeah, quick.
What do you guys think?
So we'd have to get some basic uniforms and maybe rent a van for a couple of days.
Well,
we don't want to use air.
I like it. The only problem is, so the air conditioning goes on the fritz, and then they're going to call a repair person. How do we make sure that's us?
Well, you're just going to be there before they... Yeah, well, no, you're going to be there quicker than the real guy.
So you just come in with you guys come in with I don't know.
I'll keep the real repairmen from going inside if they show up.
Yeah. Actually, what we could do is maybe we haven't got a silent. Maybe we could like slash the tires of the real company.
Oh yeah.
Which was, you'd have to know which one they'd call.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. That's why John could try and keep them from going in the building while you guys are in there doing your thing.
Yeah, just...
Well, let's do this, guys. We're at our mid-session break right now, so maybe let's take our break And then you guys can continue thinking about this and then talk about it when we get back, and then we'll figure out what our first dice roll is going to be for taking the step towards this.
Solid plan.
Okay, so we'll be back in 5 minutes, folks.
So if I see this correctly, no one of us has technical expertise to break in somewhere because we don't have that. And we don't have the social expertise to do some kind of con job.
Not really.
Well, Amber has stealth dexterity.
Yeah,
Because
my
she's used
character.
to sneaking around
yeah.
buildings,
Yeah.
and she does have the attractive talent, which allows you to retry a few things, which I've never really looked at the. Hang on, what did it actually say? Oh, we're here.
Yeah, it
Yeah, I
gives
deliberately-
you like a really good bonus for swaying people, I think, on like their reaction to you.
Yeah.
So, but breaking in won't work, probably.
I mean, that's just breaking in. Like, anybody can do that. The problem is it's a police station.
Yeah.
So there is, I mean, they're usually always open. Like, there's always someone there. It's not like they close for the day. Well, they might, if it's a small enough town, I guess, but... I think
they
our...
might have police in the police station, yeah.
Well-
right, at any point, and then we would just be, you know...
Stuffed. The thing is, we're not really sure whether this is actually the police station or just the records office. It might not be the same thing, if you see what I mean. The records office might be a different building than a traditional police station. Probably a cheaper, somewhere cheaper to rent rather
Right.
than a police station with all the security, the cells, and everything else. But we'd have to ask Kev what his thoughts were on that.
Yeah, because I mean, if that's the case, that would give us a chance to do something different a little strategically, but
What are you thinking, guys?
Well, we were
we're just
thinking
trying to
like,
decide. Go ahead.
no, okay, we were thinking the records are held in an actual police station
Correct.
and not some other. Oh, right, okay, that.
Yeah, which is kind of what we thought was the case. So
Yeah, it's a physical, what you're looking for is the physical copy of the ticket that this person received, because that's any electronic copy. This Darkmaster73 has taken care of that. There's no other records on it. What your former colleague found, Amber, was that there was this identity. There was a way of tracking it down. It's just that it was inside the physical police station on a physical ticket. So, in order to get that information, you need to actually get in there and get it, and that seemed to be beyond what Darkmaster could do. I'll be right back. I'm about to have a flip-out puppy here.
Right, so we seem to have the idea we'll create effectively snow in California we never said what time of year it is, and effectively completely mess up the air conditioning.
I would just do an ice sheet. That's easier and that's more convincing. So if the floor is covered in ice, then they would say, "Wow."
Well, we could try. Would they evacuate? Maybe we should pretend to be the fire service and saying you've got an emergency and help evacuate people and sneak out the documents that way.
I mean, if it's a
I'll
small,
say to John as he's a TV buff. You've seen the Mission Impossible thing where they do that to the CIA, right?
Well, it might not even be we have to go that far. Maybe if it just got really, really, really cold, people would leave without any other effects, right?
Well, I think policemen are going to stay at their post, to be honest.
Or start paying more attention to that.
So what's wrong with the just showing up as the air conditioning repair people?
No, nothing wrong with that.
It's not a perfect scenario, but if you guys are, if you guys are going to show up within 5 minutes and say, oh, we just got the call, we're right in the area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking what we could say
John
is
will keep the real guys from going inside if they come. Like, I'll just come out and say, oh, we got it under control, or they fixed it, or it was, I don't know. I'll tell them something fake, even though I'm not in uniform. They might listen to it. I don't know. I can try and convince them.
Well, I was thinking what we could say is, oh, I'm one of the assistant managers, and our van's broken down, so I've just brought in our top guy to have a look at your problem, and then I can sneak off while he's fixing the problem.
Yeah. Right, like you could come. Yeah, we could try that. And like I said, John will try and keep the actual guy away if there's.
I was looking here
Mark should
too.
be the.
Go ahead. Well, go ahead, Ingolf.
I would say Mark should be the technician, and Amber, you're just an intern or something like that.
I'll put this here too, guys. So this is so you can, because we're making some rolls here too. Here's some. Let's take a look at the infiltration stunts. These are things that might trigger over the course of this stuff too. So let's just, and that's in addition to the general stunts as well too.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Then, do we have an idea of what the steps are to your plan here? Because that'll help us understand what dice rolls you're going to be making now.
Well, I think the idea was we'd pretend that.
So hold on. Let me just stop you there. I don't need broad summary. What I need is specific steps for what you're going from where you are right now until you're inside the police station. That will help us understand. Not generalities, specific steps.
Find uniforms.
Okay. Yep.
Then
Rent a van or another vehicle, because we don't want to use our own one.
Yeah.
So we just get a suitable vehicle.
Okay.
We also
Then-
need tools, sorry.
Yeah, set of realistic or actual tools.
Okay. Let's put that in with a uniform, because depending on how you're obtaining that, you can likely get the tools at the same time.
Okay.
Okay. What else?
Then we want to position the van, like Amber and Mark get into their outfits and position the van nearby. Then John and Ro would sneak to where the air conditioner is.
Okay.
And Ro will, or somewhere by the police station, and Ro's gonna do something to create an ice situation or something really bad.
Okay.
Then we wait a few minutes until we assume they've put the call in. And then Amber and Mark show up and say they got the call but happened to be right in the neighborhood.
Okay.
And Mark and Ro remain out front to stop the actual repair people from coming in if they show up while we're there.
Okay. That sound like the plan to everyone?
Yeah.
I don't think that Ro needs to go to where the air conditioning is, just to be close enough to use his
Somewhere,
powers.
yeah, somewhere out of sight, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be exactly where the...
Well,
I mean, it might be more realistic if there's ice on the air conditioning unit as well.
Yeah, okay.
If they go to check it, like if the police check it before they phone.
Okay. So what I was, do you guys know where to look for the the tickets? Do you have a way of maybe finding that out, or no? Or is that going to be doing something? You're just going to try and find like a room labeled records and go in there.
Is there a public record of building plans?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, we'll try and search it out. They may have. Yeah, we'll try and find building plans. See if we can give us a way to get in. Amber was thinking that maybe what should do is wear the uniform over more office stuff, so that she could get in, slip off, change, and then just walk around just like some office person. Or whether we just go in, because if we're going in the room with a air conditioning uniform on, that's going to look a bit funny. Oh no! What we do is we say, "Oh yeah, we've got a problem in here. We need to have a look in here," and we just say, "Yeah, you better keep out because there might be some leaks, and you don't want to get any sort of water or anything on and there's a big slip hazard, so health and safety.
Right,
Yeah, that's the way to do
exactly.
it. We say the problem's in the room, then we've got a reason to be in there.
Right, or there's a pipe, a feed pipe that's in there or something that's causing the problem in the records room. That's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah.
What if the
it's a
records
free on
are
release? You better
electronic?
stay away.
Hey, what if the records are only electronic?
Well, then this
they've
whole
been
mission
wiped.
is for naught, and
What Amber knows
We'll
is that
find
it's
that
a
out.
physical copy. This is where
Oh, okay.
the electronic
Yeah,
copies,
he
the hacker
wipes.
has destroyed all the electronic copies. That's why you need to get physically in there.
Okay.
right. So if there isn't one, then this whole mission's a bust. So
Okay.
Well, it's plan B then. But okay, so I think we've got the plan and the steps. So we're going to.
Okay.
So presumably Rogue could do the damage from outside, and then we just go in and say, "Oh yeah, the problem's there." And
So
you
that's
better
one thing
let
I
us in,
didn't
but
understand. Like, are you just manifesting cold inside the room? Because you know that reaction may be similar to what your allies had, which is like, why is it snowing in here? I understood it to be that you were sabotaging. You were like putting your cold through the AC unit, and that's why they were clear that it's the broken AC unit.
right, and that's why I was suggesting going there and maybe.
Yeah, that's what. Is that not what you
It
meant?
would be all iced up or whatever, and then
Yeah.
that's where they would
I-
see like, oh, it's the AC unit.
Yeah. So what were you thinking, Ingolf?
I just was thinking that I could make it cold in the room, and it's not. I don't know. So people would get that this might be the AC because it doesn't get cold when it's hot outside.
Yeah.
But I don't know. As you want. I mean, I'm.
Well, I was
If you
thinking-
want us to go to the wherever the central air conditioning is.
Well, you could do. The thing is, you need to be somewhere. You either need to be present in there in order to manifest it, or you need to be breaking the AC unit. You can totally do that. It actually might be helpful to have another person inside the building, and like you don't need to like wave and make spells and shit like that in order to make your powers manifest. You could be inside like the waiting area, you know, waiting to speak to an officer or to contest a ticket or whatever, like whatever reason, checking the bulletin boards, checking for bylaws. Yeah, all sorts of reasons you could be standing inside there. You could just use that as an excuse to be in there and then manifest your powers.
Yes. So my powers are 20 yards away from me, so I can do this in 20 yards distance. I need
Right,
to
but you
be
need line of sight,
next
though.
to the building.
You need line of sight still, so
Yes.
yeah. So that means you either need to be kind of outside of the building looking in or inside the building
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so then first step here is let's get the uniforms and the tools. How are you guys planning on getting those? This will be our first roll here.
I think we go to the shops with the Amex card.
I
I
mean,
assume there will be a place where you can buy this sort of stuff.
where you can
either
buy
that or
air
online.
conditioning tools, those are fairly specialized things. There's not going to be air conditioning in a small town like this. You're not going to go in and
Well-
get the servicing tools and the uniforms necessarily.
Well,
We might have
I was
to
thinking we could
do
get
the-
generic uniforms from the internet, and we just need a big bag that looks heavy. They're not going to look in and
Yep.
say, "Oh, that's the wrong tool."
Okay. Those things, I'll say those. So they'll be arriving tomorrow, and with John's, those are going to be like, you know, de minimis purchases. They're not going to require any kind of roll. So that is taken care of. What about a van?
Well, there'll be a local van hire place.
Was it just going to be a nondescript van, or you're not having any logo or anything on it?
Oh, could do. Yeah, we could get these shops where you can get these plastic logo things done, and you can get those done pretty quickly.
Well, I guess let me ask you this, guys: is it necessary to have the van?
No, we
What
just
if we're
need
gonna carry
a vehicle to
behind
get us there. Well, no, we could just suppose hang around the back.
Like, are they going to? They're going to see. Presumably, the police are going to see you walking in there. They're going to see you, you know, going to do your work and whatnot. Do you need the van?
We don't have to have the van. The van was so we didn't use our vehicle.
Sure. Yeah, you
get
can
a
absolutely do
tag
that in
with
town.
Any kind of,
It won't.
yeah.
It won't have like an AC logo on it or anything like that. But it's just going to be a
No.
rental.
No, we can just tell them, well, the other van broke down. We had to rent one.
Okay.
If they
Yeah,
ask, right.
we can finesse that. The other thought was when Rose discussing how you could do it. Could you not just damage it from the outside because they have all the cooling towers?
Well, I mean, that was the.
Well,
It's
That's what I think. What
it's
we
a
were
one-story
discussing.
building,
Mo.
so you can just look at it.
Hold
and
on,
just go,
Mo. Stop talking. That's what we were talking about a moment ago. Like that's what I misunderstood that as being the plan, and what Ingolf was intending is to use the powers in there. So yeah, he can, but I mean, it sounds like what Ro's going to do is go inside the building and use his power. Is that right, Ingolf?
Yeah, at least Ro doesn't know any better. So if someone has to educate him how stuff works.
Okay.
Right, and that's where John was suggesting we should climb onto the roof of the building where the AC unit is and take action from there, so that if they go and check it, they'll see the buildup of frost on it.
Yeah, we should also get like some kind of cheap replacement or like old broken replacement, and I can carry it, and it's something that is heavy for me to carry, and I'm like, come on, man, just like if they start delaying us, I'm like, let's get this. I guess no, never mind. I just thought we'd have to. That doesn't make sense unless we knew to be required a replacement. So
I think if we just have a couple of big, heavy, what look like tool bags, they're unlikely to look inside them.
Okay, so you can get those. All right. So you got your uniforms, you got your tools, you got your van rental. So what's the next step, guys? Is it going to be to? Are we going to see the you guys fussing around with the AC unit, or is Ro going inside? Because Ro's
unless, well, I'd probably do a recce the day before, but whether you want to like skip over that bit.
Well, what are you planning on getting out of that? Tell me how that's going to work. Are you going inside the station? Are you going?
Yeah, go inside the station, see where the public area is.
Okay. So
unless we can get a floor plan, but
you cannot get a floor plan. No.
No. Well, I think maybe just one of us goes in as a tourist and just ask generic questions.
Yeah. So why don't we do this?
And then while we're buying all the other stuff for the date next day.
Who do you think it is that goes in?
Well, it would be better if it wasn't you or Mark, because you're going to show up as the repair people the next day. So I think that John could do that. Maybe he could be asking them about applying for to be on the force, and he could bring back whatever information you want him to sort of evaluate.
Okay. So let's do this. This will be our first roll then. So John, you walked in the station. We'll narrate the scene after we get your result. Would you give us a perception and seeing check, please? So seeing, remember, if you have the focus, add it. If you don't worry about it. Just roll your stat.
Okay.
Hey, and someone's going to get a stunt here.
With stunt.
Okay, so that means that is a total of 10, though. Difficulty was only an 11. Now, we haven't talked about conviction yet. You guys have already given everyone an opportunity to try and regain conviction, but let's talk about what you can actually do with conviction. You have 3 points. You can spend it to dodge, which is give +2 to your defense, to recover, to gain 1d6 plus your constitution plus your level in health as a free action. And you can also do it to re-roll any one roll of the dice that you make, keeping the second result. Surge, you take another major or minor action during the round, or survive, you don't die. So the one I'm particularly concerned with is the re-roll. Did you want to re-roll that?
Yeah, I guess so, because...
Okay, so your conviction goes down... Conviction's down to a 2. Go ahead and give us a re-roll.
Yeah, just let me take that down. Alright, come on, let's roll better.
Oh my god!
My
oh no!
Way worse.
Oh no. Okay.
We're going to have to break him out, Joe.
Yeah.
No, this was to see what I saw, right? Like
this was yeah, this is to reflect you going in there, but one sec here, I want to check one thing.
Well, this wasn't the role to make them think that I wanted to be a police officer, was it? This was
no, this is
what I could find out.
So this is part of the advanced test. We're not making a roll. Like, the advanced tests are abstracted cutscenes. We're not breaking it down into specific, like you make this roll. It's a way of getting around it to not have to have it bogged down into a series of dice rolls. It makes each of the dice rolls the thing you're trying to get out of that specific sub-scene, see whether it contributes to your overall total. And then if you fail on that roll, then what happens is the tier goes up. So things become more complicated. So, like, what's happened now is you've gone in, and Jeff, tell us a little bit about how badly this goes for John and how suspicious he is.
Well, I think he just, again, it's like he's asking questions that would be like someone who's only ever seen a cop on TV. So, it is clear he doesn't really know anything about police work,
Yeah.
at all. And so I guess he's probably more insulting than he is anything else. So, you know,
Okay.
he's probably, you know, talking about donuts and I don't know, just stupid things that people would
Well,
don't
and I
know
think
much.
so for the consequence of the overall scene or the overall test as well too. Like he's sort of as he's talking to this guy, he's looking over. You know, like you've walked up to the desk sergeant who's working there, and you're like, "So I'm gonna be a cop. You know, how do I become a cop? I like being cops. I love those cops." And you're looking around, and it's so obvious that you're trying to take in the whole scene. You know, and like you're narrowing your eyes. He's just like watching you going along. Like not once do you make eye contact with this guy the whole time you're talking. You're just, and then you're like, you know, do you have a piece of paper? And then you're maybe he's like sketching some stuff down. And when he looks at you, you really obtrusively move it away and continue sketching. So what the mechanical consequence of that means is that it bumps certain of your skill checks are going to be up by 2. So like, you know, when you walk out, it's going to make things harder for other people who are not expected there to come in because you were so, you know, suspicious when you went in there. Okay. So that's how that mechanic works. Is like we're not really concerned about how convincing you are. We just try and figure out what the narrative explanation for why you turf that roll and why you don't get to add the stunt number to your total successes.
Right.
And I think because you rolled so shitty too, you think you aced it.
Right.
So you got this like drawing you bring back to everyone, and it like makes no sense. You know, there's like a couple symbols in there, and maybe it's like it's in the way that you were trained as a warrior back on your fantasy world. So it's these like shorthands and whatnot that makes no sense to anyone else. So it's of absolute no value.
Right.
Okay. So you come in, and unfortunately, John has not provided a lot of insight into how to get into this place. What do we think the next step is, guys?
Yeah, let's get this stuff done. So let's get the van and this stuff.
That's all done.
I'd imagine
no rolls.
Okay.
Yeah, no rolls
the
needed.
next
for that.
scene is us getting ready. Amber's going to disguise herself. She'll go out and buy a wig.
Okay.
Because don't really want, and maybe just a wig or wrap her hair in one of those sort of Rosie the River type.
Okay. Like a do-rag.
Things.
Okay. So you got yourself. Yeah. We can assume that came with the Amazon order. Yeah. And again, we've got another person looking down at the windows who like takes the delivery from John. He throws a bunch of money at them. You guys go inside with all these Amazon boxes and start unpacking shit to get yourself ready. You guys are all dressed up. You head out to the rented van, and I think that same couple is walking past you guys again. And Mark, what do you do?
Mark, you're muted.
Sorry, Kaden came by and I forgot to unmute when she left.
Okay. So what does Mark do?
When I see them looking at me, I'll be like, "What?"
Okay, and then they get they grab their purse and kind of carry on back to their rooms as well. You guys all pile in the van, and then you head off to the police station. So, Ro, what are we seeing when you're going inside there?
Yeah, I don't. So now the plan is to go inside. Okay, I thought John wanted me to climb up.
Sorry, no. You guys tell me if I got that wrong. Yeah, then that's fine. It'll change is I think I'll make you guys make a stealth roll next. And do you guys have John and Ro? Do both of you have a focus in stealth, or do neither of you have it?
I have none.
Neither of you have that.
No, I have stealth.
You have stealth.
Oh, he has stealth. Oh, then I probably wouldn't actually go with him if he's actually good at that.
Okay, so mechanically, guys, the reason I'm asking is because if you have a focus in it as well, I'd let you contribute. You guys would both make your roll, and so long as someone's successful, you get to take the higher of the 2 stunt dice.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, Ro. So what do we see?
I see.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. What do we see as you're sneaking your way down this back alley to get to the, kind of the ladder that leads up to the roof?
I think Ro moves swiftly but very determined.
Okay.
It's just it's very astounding because he doesn't look around so much. He just knows where to go.
Yeah, yeah. And you can see there are probably cameras on the outside of the police station as well too. But let's see how your dice roll goes. Let's see how secretive you've been. Go ahead and give us a Stealth check, please.
Very secret.
Holy
Very
shit.
Nice.
All right, so that is for sure a success. And that's a... you stunted 6 stunt points. You want to take a look at the infiltration stunts and see if there's anything you want to do with that. So where are we here? Infiltration stunts. Did I open that up already? I did not.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got 6 stunt points for this result.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say I would want to use for cover your tracks.
Okay.
For strange reasons, maybe my image is blurred on the cameras.
I think, you know what, you see those cameras, and then like with a gesture, it kind of ices up on the outside of it, so that it's not completely covered, but it's obscured enough so you'd never be able to make out who you are.
Yeah.
Okay, and you got 3 more points.
Yeah, and maybe that this high-tech hustle, so there might be some strange thing happening right now if when we are freezing that, so that for lucky chances we don't know yet, some complication will not occur.
Sure, yeah, we'll bank that idea. Great, love it. All right, so then you go racing, you gesture, you slip past these things. The cameras do not pick you up whatsoever. You're suddenly on the roof, and you've generated 6 points towards the total task. Pretty awesome. So you're up on top of the roof. What happens next? And I think, you know what, you're not even gonna have to make a roll for your psychic ability. You just get up there, and what do we see as you make this thing screw up?
I think I can produce this icy mist, and I just put it down there, so somewhere there's air coming out. Yeah. Probably, and then I put. So there must be somewhere where it's sucked in, and I put all the ice in there.
Yeah. So we see the scene cuts to inside, and there's this kind of like slightly chubby cop who's got a cup of coffee, and he's got a half-eaten donut, and he's working away in this thing, and then we see that his desk is located right underneath the AC vent, and then we start seeing little like ice crystals coming out of the thing, and he's sitting there and kind of like, oh god, what? Who's been screwing with the AC? And then he goes wandering over and kind of adjusts it a bunch of times. He goes back, he looks up at it again, and he can see like, there's like a thin layer of like snow basically under his desk, and he's like, Dolores, call the repair guys. AC's on the fritz again. So then, who was going next here?
I guess a little bit of time would go by, and then we're up.
You guys pull up right out front or near where the police station is. The doors, you guys hop out, and we see Amber with the different colored hair and Mark dressed in the uniforms. So I think this will be. Well, tell me what do you guys see happening in this scene? This will help me understand what dice roll it's going to be.
Well, effectively,
Yeah, you can do the talking if you want. I'll carry the big stuff.
Well, I was going to go in and effectively use a social stunt to sort of, well, not but say, oh right, we're here, we were in the area.
Yeah.
We hear you got a problem. We've got our best guy. We'll see if we can get this sorted out.
Okay. So what I'll say is that to me sounds like a communication deception, but I'll give you +2 to the roll because of your uniforms and such. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and give us a roll.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's also social stunts as well, but let's see what the roll is. I think before I need a bigger monitor.
Brent, you don't have deception, do you?
No.
No. Okay, so you can't do a group task on this. Let's see how we go here. Bear.
Well, hang on. What would be our rolling?
If you don't have deception, you're just rolling communication +2.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is 9, 11, 13 total. That's actually not good enough because of the, what do you call it? Because of the complication that John created. So now,
can we spend conviction?
You can spend conviction to roll again. Yeah, please do.
Again.
Yep. It's 15 is what you need. Nice. Oh, maybe not 12, 30, 40, 50, 16, and you stunted 2 stunt points. So, what were you thinking for your stunt points for this?
Well, there is the social stunts, which...
Let's see if they apply. This is an infiltration, but let's see how they apply. I'm certainly not going to be super rigid with this. Is it the general social stunts you're talking about?
Yeah, just thinking...
Yeah, okay. Which one were you thinking? You got 2 points. It's like sway the crowd, hidden message, and another thing. Make a second related test as part of your action before anyone else has a chance to respond or make any tests of their own.
Yeah, I think we'll do that.
Okay, cool. So what were you
just
thinking?
Get them to point us. Yeah, we had a look at the plans we got on record, and it looks like it's in your records room. Can you point us to there?
Okay, so why don't you I think that'll be I think maybe persuasion. Why don't we say communication persuasion? I don't want you to roll the same thing again. So go ahead and give us that roll, and then we'll see how much I've added the 2 points to your success. That's not great. 7.
No, it was
8,
just an add-on anyway. So
10. Okay. No, but if it's a failure, it means it has an effect on the tier. That triggers the next tier.
okay.
Yeah. So what are you thinking?
Can I jump in?
Well, he could spend another point of conviction to re-roll that, or you can suffer the results of the failure.
Well, well.
So here's what the results will be. I can tell you
Let's
is that
Mark and...
there's going to be an officer in the records room.
Oh, in that case, I better re-roll it.
Yeah. So, and the way that works, guys, is that at tier 2 of this thing, that's where there's an unexpected alarm or a clumsy misstep that allows guards to investigate. So the narrative consequence of failing it is that there's some other thing you got to deal with. Okay, so that's 10. 14 is 1 shy. Ingolf, can you think of a way that your thing might trigger?
Yeah, so if it's just pure luck, then maybe that guy who is supposed to be in the archive has just in the restroom.
Or maybe he walked out and it's like, God damn, it's cold in there. Jeez. Yeah. So she kind of looks back. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so then she kind of looks back, and the desk clerk says, oh, "Yeah, all right, that's fine." So I'll add. You got 6 successes. Oh man, fantastic! You guys are almost there. So, Amber and Mark, you guys make your way in to the police station, and you head into the records room. I'm going to say, let's see here. This is going to be a limited time you've got, so I think it's going to be intelligence and security. Because security is knowing what different security systems, protocols, personnel, stuff like that. I think that's probably the way, the information you would need to be able to find find the records before someone comes in here. Do either of you guys have that focus?
Nope.
No.
Do either of you guys have another focus that you think might apply for doing that individual task?
Yeah, no. I basically all I can do is pretend to fix things and provide a lookout for Amber.
Well, I suppose I could stealthily try and rifle the records because I've got stealth as a.
Nope.
But that's not really that sort of stealth, is it?
No.
No, I think we're just going to have to. We make like we're fixing stuff. We get out a load of old bit, leave them there. Can we get one of those men working danger signs and with us and put it out the door so they don't jump in? Yeah, so we're just going to have to go through the records.
Well, that's it. So now it's going to be a check to see if you... Yeah, it's going to be an intelligence check with the security focus. You're still going to be able to make that roll, just you can't do the group check, and the difficulty is going to be a little higher because you don't have that focus. So this is going to be a pretty high number. Go ahead and give me an int. Which of you guys has a higher intelligence?
I've got 2.
0.
Okay.
Well, can we both do the same task?
Nope.
And sum it, or is it better that
not to have a consequential? In order to have a consequential benefit from it, you need to have the focus.
All right. Oh, I see. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So, intelligence then.
Okay, I'm gonna start pretending to fix stuff and keep an eye on the door.
Let me hold on before you make your roll. Let me check one thing.
Oh.
I'm gonna make sure that because I don't want to be confusing that with Zweihander. You need to do that in Zweihander, but I don't remember. I want to make sure I'm not confusing the two. Because if you can make the roll, I do like how the group tests work in this game a great deal. And I don't want to be overly restrictive if I don't need to be. Because I'm going to have plenty of other opportunities to be an asshole. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll let you both roll. But you need to, let's see here. Use the highest result, but when comparing the measure of quality of the test, use the highest stunt die from all the rolls. So yeah, guys, both of you guys go ahead and make a roll.
Yeah. I think Amber's could be enough already.
Okay. I'll take a look and go, what the hell are you wanting me to look
Amber's
for?
11, 12, 13, 14. 14 is not good enough. So, that's a fail.
You know what? I'll use a conviction point. I haven't done that yet.
Sure, yeah. Let's see if you can get a better result. Come on, dice. 12, no. Okay, so neither of those... And again, like this is because of the early fail. That's bumped up the challenge rating. And because you guys don't have training in this stuff. So, what happens is you guys are working away in this same guy who was bitching before. He bursts in, and you know, I think that Mark, you're sort of keeping watch out, right?
Yeah.
So you hear that this guy's kind of coming up and is testing the door, and you're like, hey, and Amber kind of closes the records and goes back to pretending to fix the AC. Door opens, and this guy comes in, and he's got a woman's scarf wrapped around his neck. And he's like, have you guys fixed this thing yet?
No.
Look at him go, nice scarf, buddy. We're working on it.
Well,
I mean, yeah, there could be a free on release. You need to be careful here.
Give me a communication deception check, please. Amber.
Is this the same guy I talked to before?
Different guy.
Ah.
You were talking to the desk sergeant.
Yeah.
This is the guy who came up bitching about the records room being freezing.
Okay, so what are we doing now? Communication deception, so...
Please, yeah.
Just straight communication.
Okay. A 11, 13. So you say, look, there's a Freon leak, and he kind of looks at the records, looks at you. All right. Just hurry up, right? Some of us have work to get done. And he closes the door behind him. So you got a success. You've dealt with this second tier failure. Okay.
Yeah, and in the scene, you probably see Amber say, yeah, go and get some donuts.
Okay. Now.
Right.
Now, you still got to try and find this thing before someone else comes in. So, let's have you both make another roll, please.
Okay.
Now, hold on, I got an idea here. So maybe what you could do, can you think of any other way to try and augment your chances? Because if you can get a stunt, you could feed in some stunt benefits to your dice roll, right?
Is the system organized by anything other than name, or is it just by like crime type or something like that?
Yeah, or if it was, he might well have been a juvenile when he did the crime.
Okay.
Which is sort of the tradition of the cliche of the teenage hacker.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's organized by crime, maybe we were going through alphabetically.
And I think that, like, you know what, the way that do either of you have research as a focus for intelligence?
Nope.
No. My focus is all on hurting people. If it doesn't involve hurting people, I have no focus.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you could make like a collateral roll for research maybe, but neither of you are trained in security either. You're sort of like bumbling, what do you call it, amateurs getting your way through here. So, why don't you, I guess it's just the dice roll.
How many records are there in here?
Oh, tons. There's years of worth of old tickets and stuff like that in here.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's a big room with like loads and loads.
That's why it's proving to be difficult to find this thing, you know. And it's an anachronistic thing. Like, this is something that more modern, like, they'd be scanning stuff in and keeping it in electronic format. You're just lucked into the fact that this is this has the other, what do you call it? It has the records still in on the premises.
Do we have anything to narrow it down with?
Did we know the age? I was saying the only thing I could think of was if we knew that he was a juvenile, under 18.
Nope.
Or
We
type
don't, do we?
like if you could narrow it down by type of like the.
We don't
Maybe
Yeah,
really
maybe
find
we take a
why.
second to see how it's structured. Can we see like there's this section is for cybercrime, this one's for assault. This
So what I'll
one's
let you
for-
do is go ahead and give me a, let's see here, perception searching check. Let's see if this will give you a benefit. Now this is going to be, so mechanically guys, this is a stunt roll. It generates automatically 1, and then if you stunt, you get to get those stunt points as well too. But if you fail, then you get squat. There's something you can do in combat, but it's also, so hold on. Shit. Amber, do you have another...
Yeah, I'm gonna have
conviction?
to burn my last one.
Okay. Okay, so
That's much better.
it's good enough. You've got 1 stunt point that's generated from this. So I think what we see in the scene is...
Can I do it too, or is that just one person?
No, just 1 person.
Sorry,
So you're looking around for this. You've generated 1 stunt point for this. Stunt point for the investigation things. I think it may just be a +1 to the roll. Because that's what all the stunts always give. Well, +1 to the stunt point for your next test. A flashback. Test reminds you of something important you forgot. Reveals the identity or existence of a new source of information. You know what?
Yeah.
So here's what I'll let you do.
Yeah, that would go.
Okay, so flashback. You maybe think, shit, the carbon copies. Maybe the carbon copies of the things. They keep them filed in a separate way. That'll be a, it's a ticket or whatever. What I'll let it do is dump the difficulty down back to the 13 that it should be instead of 15.
Okay.
Okay. So you're like, oh shit, hold on. You said it was a whatever kind of ticket, right? And you find, here, it's got to be in here. So now we'll make a roll again. You guys can both roll. Although, hold on. Here's the consequence of this one. Is if you're both rolling, that means nobody's on lookout. That means you have no warning for if you fail, and it goes into the actual tier 3 failure.
Okay. Can we lock the door or anything?
I was going to say, can
That
we push
will
something
not-
up against the door?
Locking
Oh, okay.
yourself in there will not affect the way that the tiers work. They reflect the progressive rising of tension in that scene, in the overall scene for the advanced test. So what you choose to do in the scene, you have to sort of accept that it's like the effects are going to be abstracted from the dice roll. You specifically doing little niggly things is not going to affect the outcome.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. What the keeping on effect, so you understand what the risk reward is here, is if you both do it, then that's great. 2 people get to roll, take the highest roll and the best stunt die. That's awesome. If you have, but what that means is that whatever the tier 3 consequence is, it'll immediately happen. You will not have an opportunity to respond the way that you did before, where you got Amber to stop looking in the records.
Yeah, well, if we sit here all day, they're gonna wonder what's, I'm not gonna be able to bullshit too much about the air conditioner anyway.
Yeah, I
You
think we've
might
got
be
to roll
better
the
off to
die.
just try and get it done.
Okay,
Yeah, let's go for it.
go right ahead. Okay.
Otherwise, and if it doesn't, we might just have to leave.
13. Nice. So Amber, you go paging through here, and that contributes 6 stunt dice to it, which is more than enough to complete the scene. So what do we see happen?
I'm flicking through the records and I see a file. You can see it put it out and saying, "Right, I've got it,"
Yep.
and I'll stuff it in my Well, I assume I've got a backpack or something. I'll just stuff it in there and say, "Right."
Your bag,
we've
your
done
work
that.
bag.
Yeah.
Remember your tool bag you guys purchased?
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so you grab it and you stuff it in there, close it, and you guys both kind of saw this happen at the same time. Did you make your roll, Brent? Actually, you can't get better than a 6 anyway, so I was just seeing because if you...
No, I didn't, because just
Yeah, so if you're doing a group test, just in future, all of you roll.
okay.
Don't wait and
Okay.
see. Everyone rolls, yeah, and then we see what happens, because it's just, we don't want to wait and see and then roll again, just all do it at once.
Okay.
So congratulations on completing your first advanced test, guys. I imagine our next one will go smoother now that we know sort of what the process is and how it's going to play out, but that's...
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So then you have the ticket. What happens next?
I think we walk out, get in the van, and there's probably a short scene of us sanitizing the van and getting rid of our fingerprints and stuff.
Yeah, we'll just tell them it's victim. It
Yeah,
should,
Amber's going to have to
operate
explain
normally.
about this.
Okay.
Give it about half.
And then I think we resume back at the hotel where we pull out the records and see what we've got.
Okay.
And if the cops ask, we just tell them give it half an hour. The temperatures should resume to normal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we forgot to actually have the burner phones text each other when we say just turn off the effect now.
1 second. I'll be right back. 1 second here. I want to check something. I'll keep planning your stuff though. I'll be right back.
But yeah, that sounds good. We just let them know and then say, yeah, we're done. It should normalize in about half an hour to an hour.
Right. And hopefully that's close to true.
Well, it's assuming Ro hasn't completely damaged the unit.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it would normalize anyway, even if I put code in it.
Well, I was thinking if you put enough cold in it, you might have like fractured the pipes or something like that.
Right, like you might have broke it and it's gonna actually just go the other way now. Like it's gonna be too hot. It's gonna stop working.
No, if it pushes too much code in it, it will just stop cooling it down even further because so the way that the machine works, it can't cool down beyond something. So, I mean, it would just. So I guess it will fix itself automatically.
Right. That's what we're saying. That's what we're hoping for, as long as you didn't somehow damage it.
I don't know.
Yeah, because if you
I don't
freeze,
think you did, but who knows?
yeah, if you freeze water, it expands, so you could potentially fracture pipes, because ice cubes take up more space than water. One of the weird things about. But yeah, so I think we get rid of all the stuff, and then we meet back at the hotel and we have a look at what we got.
Yeah.
And then I suppose, hopefully, this will give us an address or somewhere to go and see this chap.
Some kind of a lead.
Yeah, possibly you don't turn up on the doorstep with your big sword saying, hello, we want to speak to Darkmaster73.
Yeah.
I think it's 73 because
Oh,
he was a Dark Master when D&D came out. So.
he's 74, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's 74. So he was even before D&D officially came out. He was a Dark Master. So we know.
Be older than me then.
It could be the year he was born.
That's a great way to stay anonymous. Just put the birth year into your.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. All right, so what's happened here?
So we're gonna walk out, tell the cops that the temperature should normalize within 30 to 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Now we're done.
Okay.
Head back to the hotel and
Okay.
see what we have.
Yeah, you drop off the rental, or someone drops off the rental, and you guys head back to the hotel. So, what you find is that the turns out Darkmaster73 is a guy named Oliver Horner, who is 45.
All right then.
Was that the time of the arrest or what he would be now?
That's what he is now. There's an address on there, there's a date of birth on it, and there's an actual name for Oliver Horner. The offense that he was charged with is something to do with oh no, it's probably a traffic offense. It's probably just a traffic offense, like he blew a stoplight or something like that, or got involved in a, hit someone else's vehicle while he was on a phone. So what but it does have an address here in Mendocino, on the outskirts of town.
Okay.
Well,
cool. Let's get the laptop out and have a look at Google Maps and see where he is.
So
And then
let's hear. Does anyone have computers?
To use Google Maps?
Brent, there's a reason I'm asking for it. Does anyone have it?
No.
No.
Okay. Then you use Google Maps. The whole area is completely blacked out. It's like trying to search on like a zoom in on like Iran. You know, it's you get there and you can't get a closer view, and it's only that one region around there. The reason I asked if you had computers because you would have been able to make a check to try and find out further information.
Oh, Amber's going to say, oh, that's like Area 51.
Exactly.
Suspicious. Well, it sounds like he's still at that address then. Because if he'd moved, he wouldn't be doing this.
That's good thinking.
I know, could we just drive past the house?
You could, yeah.
And recce it? Alternatively, we could just walk up and knock on the door.
Okay. One thing I'll give you for because of your paranoia, you guys are driving effectively a Men in Black van, right? Or Men in Black vehicle. If you slowly drive past the conspiracy theorist's house, this would come naturally to you, Amber. You know, maybe it's someone else who suggested driving past slowly, and you could just picture in your mind this black SUV slowly rolling past your place.
Yeah, well, I thought we had a Flora Explorer, not one of the Chevrolet Suburbans, which are the classic.
Same.
Yours,
it's the same. Looks same, yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Is it walkable? Could we just drop off and have a couple of us walk past as tourists, or is it not that sort of area?
Yeah, you could do that. It's a slightly outside of town, so there's a little more space around each of the things. There's a lot of greenery and trees and so
I know
forth.
what we can do. Let me just go out and rent a couple of bicycles, and we'll just play tourist.
What do the rest of you guys think?
Sure.
Yeah, just
go for a
cycle
bike.
John
around and
can't
then...
wait to get his bike out and go for a ride.
Of course, yeah.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Did you actually have it on me? We did discuss having a.
Yeah, he would have it at
on
the
the back.
hotel.
Yeah. And Ro, what do you
Okay,
think?
I'm just.
You can ride a bike, can you, Ro?
Could you just? I mean, it's kind of hard if you talk when all the other guys want to talk. So it's just. Well, sometimes we have a hard time getting in. So, I guess I was asked. So Ro would do what the others are doing because he has no idea what he's doing here. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and Ro is a master of riding the bike.
Yeah.
So what are the rest of you guys thinking? What are your characters thinking at this point?
Sure. I'm not a huge conspiracy buff, but if these people who can generate cold and are all into this believe that the presence of a van would spook the target, I'm good with going on a bike.
Okay. Brent, we're getting a lot of background noise from you, bud, so we need...
Oh,
yeah,
sorry. That kid came down here. I'll mute myself.
Okay. John, what are you thinking? You excited to get in the bike?
Oh yeah, that's what he said.
And is everyone okay with that plan? Like, I guess, are there any concerns about that plan? What are you guys thinking?
Nope.
Okay. So y'all...
Wait, how far is this? When we said we would bike there.
Probably, probably like 45 minutes maybe at the most. It's not a very big town, so, you know, to get there and ride past it and then, meet up and talk about it, 45?
Oh yeah, that's fine. I just didn't want to lose anyone to, like, exhaustion or something.
Oh, no, you don't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
All right, so you ride through... go ahead.
Wait. John has a special spot on his bike where he mounts his sword. He says, I know you guys told me not to bring it, but what if there's trouble? And he won't notice it here, and he kind of like puts it on the side of the bike, and it's pretty obvious.
Yes.
You can't bring that with you. That is very obvious.
What if there's trouble?
Amber's just going to open the jacket.
Oh, sorry, Mo, you got really quiet there. I don't know why.
Yeah, sorry, is that better?
Yeah, much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, the microphone fell off when I took my jumper. Sorry about that. No, Amber's going to say, well, we've got this, and show the concealed carry gun she's carrying.
Okay.
Exactly. You guys are bringing your tools.
Amber's going to sort of have to try and explain with Mark that there are laws about carrying large bladed weapons in public.
You guys,
Has he seen the cop shows where they pull people over for having a
He
flip
goes
knife or
into
something?
he goes into the room and he comes out with like a sweater or something, and he wraps it around the spot where he's got the sword. So now it's just sort of like a twisted sweatshirt wrapped around his bike. There, look, nobody can
Okay.
tell.
Brent, what were you
can you get like a duffel or like a big ass hockey equipment bag that you could actually fit the sword in, or
Yeah,
maybe
he has
even
like
a white
I think he said he had
bag?
like a music case or something. They already said that, but I don't think he'd be biking around with his music case.
You can be the hipster on a bike with a guitar case.
No, I think this is fine. I want to be doing some bike tricks while we're driving around.
Yeah.
Is it noticeable to us that he's got a giant sword strapped
Let's-
to
Well,
his
to you,
Let's see here. Why don't you give us a... Let's see here. It's not sneaking. It's not lying. I'm getting some weird... Oh, Mo, you were getting some feedback from your mic there. Let's see here. I think I'll say... Oh, sleight of hand. Let's say it's a dexterity sleight of hand check here. Give us a dexterity check there, John.
okay. Nice.
Pretty damn well hidden. So that's a... Geez, 5 stunt points you generate from that?
Yeah, and it's a 17.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm satisfied.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see here. I think what I'll... Without looking it up, with 5... I think it's also positioned in such a way you can just whip it out with a minor action.
Okay.
It's...
Yeah, because like I said, he would have had something there meant to hold the sword.
Yeah. So that's what we'll say the stunt points do. All right, so you guys make your way through town, riding like this kind of misfit group of or misfit family. Ro, what are you thinking? This is probably the first time you're actually out and kind of riding around and drinking in the sunshine in a kind of leisurely way. To all casual observers, you guys appear to be just like everyone else, tourists wandering around this lovely New England-style California town.
So this seems like a more natural way to move. Like you move something and then the other parts follow along, and so one could see that Ro actually moves not in a straight path, but always in a little bit wiggly way, just to have the optimal curve around the street.
So he rides a bike like a little kid, effectively. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so Ro's clearly way ahead of you guys. Getting better distance for you. When you guys go past the house is it's a 2-story older building. It looks a little worn down, a little dilapidated. Are there any special precautions you guys are taking to avoid, or are you just going to ride past and kind of see what you can see?
Yeah, I think the idea is maybe we stop and I take a selfie or something with the house in the background.
Okay.
Just as an excuse to get off, and maybe we get off, I take a selfie, we have a couple of drinks of Coke.
Okay.
So we've got a...
Is there something across?
Let's see. What I'm going to get you to do is, if the whole family is going to stop for the selfie, then I'll let all of you guys make the check. Amber, it's deception is what I need here. So it's communication deception. Or no, it'll be stealth. I'll say dexterity stealth. That's trying to be, and then we'll take the highest result from all of you guys. This isn't force multiplier. This is going to be insight as well. All right, dex stealth, dex. So it looks like our highest result is an 11 from... No, it's a... Oh boy.
13 from Ro.
Yeah.
And then whatever that
13,
comes next.
I guess 17 from John. Wow.
Yep.
Oh no, John's that was from an earlier roll, looks like.
Amber.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, that was in the
he
concealment.
rolled
Okay.
terrible on this. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Amber...
He's busy doing bike stunts.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Nice. Okay, so you guys, yeah, you've got a couple of really clear shots. There is maybe something. Well, you didn't stunt, so there's nothing across the way. But it seems like, you know, I think you have the forethought to, like, someone fakes their chain coming off. So you stop and kind of fuss with the bike for a moment, and then you stop and take a selfie of everybody. And you do it in such a way that it isn't clear that you're taking pictures of the house. And then you're carry on. So we'll say you guys park your bikes, about 2 blocks away at maybe on like a side street. And you're looking at the photos that you saw and comparing notes on what you observed. Why don't you guys also give me a group perception check as well? Let's see how much you guys have, and this is seeing, if you've got the focus on it.
I got a 13.
13, okay. All right, oh, we got a potential stunt with Mark. 15, yeah, Mark.
All right.
So,
high enough. Okay.
let's see here. Your stunts.
Stealth ones.
It'd be investigation stunts, actually, is what I'm thinking of. Because it's not your stealth that you're triggering right now, it's your observation. Ooh, interesting. Lucky break. Test result leads to fortuitously putting 2 and 2 together. Treat one irrelevant focus as a tangential one. Oh, that's not what you want. If you bunk it into down the rabbit hole, I'll tell you some other information.
Okay.
Okay, so what you're looking out, I think you're not only looking at what this place is, but also you're in the mind of the person within it. Mark, this guy, you've been hearing Amber's kind of paranoid ramblings about certain things, since you first met her back at the facility. Right. And, so you're sort of thinking that this guy, she's already commented this guy kind of thinks like her, so that's why you couldn't take the vehicle past. So you're thinking, all right, this guy's going to have, he's got to have some kind of bug out trail or something like that as well. And you spot that around back. You're like, hold on, guys, come over here. So you ride around the side of the house as well, too. Like, not obviously, but you can see that there is a little trail that if you were to have this as, you wanted a fallback position, a place to kind of get out of the house and get down there, this would be the way to do it. And it kind of leads out to this creek in the back and then down and along. So if this guy does want to make a run for it, there is a clear way of doing that.
All right. Well, if you guys want to go talk to him, I can wait out here.
So I was thinking, if he tries to do a runner.
Okay. Let's go talk to him.
Okay.
With or without the sweatshirt?
He won't necessarily bring that in.
Okay. So how are you guys approaching the house? Tell me about how this is going to look. You just riding over there with your bikes right now, or?
Well, I think we should leave them a bit further away.
Okay.
Well, or alternatively, we send it. We come back with the van, park the van around a few blocks away. I'd like, send the bikes back to the higher place.
I think there should be only 2 of us knocking, so
Yeah,
I would rather stay with Mark in the back or something like that.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
well, obviously, presumably.
Mo, you're a little quiet again. I don't know why.
Sorry, is that better?
That's a little better, yeah. You're still quite quiet, though. Are you guys hearing that as well, too? It's his volume level seems to have gone up. Yeah, there
better?
we go. Yep, much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to really put my mouth about half an inch away from the microphone.
Okay.
So presumably, did we use code words when we communicated with this? Would he have known the names of the cell? Our real name? Like, would he have known Amber's name, or presumably Amber might have had a code name?
You guys communicated in code names. It's uncertain as to how much this person knows about you guys.
Okay, well, I'll just invent Persephone is my code name.
Okay.
So if I go up and introduce myself as Persephone, maybe with John, and the other two can hang around the back, and if he runs away, you can grab him.
Yeah.
Okay. So, are you bringing your bikes with you as well too, complete with concealed sword?
I was thinking maybe we were going to take them back to the higher place and then drive back in the van and just walk the 2 or 3 blocks.
What do you think, John? Well, and the rest of the people.
We can put our bikes aside.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think we would take them back to the rental place, but
Well, we could just put them in the van, I suppose.
You don't have the van. You return the van.
yeah, like we biked
yeah.
here. That's
No.
Yeah.
Well, we could.
Bear with me a second. I need to take a comfort break.
Okay.
Well,
So
we could totally.
go ahead, Brent. I don't want to talk. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, why don't we just go get our original vehicle and come back here?
Yeah, that was what.
Bikes, and if he's not uncooperative, I just the bikes sound like a pain in the ass now that we've
reconnoitered the.
yeah.
Okay.
If you guys are down with that,
Sure.
I don't want to be
That
the
was-
guy. Yeah.
That was what Mo said 5 minutes ago. So
Oh, it was. Okay,
Yeah.
I missed it.
And
yeah,
it's
yeah, we talk over each other too much this session. So we
yeah. You guys, we really need to make sure we're kind of retreading a lot of the ground that we cover. I don't know why that is, but I think it's partly because of the crosstalk. So we need to make sure that only one person is talking at a time. Mine's the only one that speaks over you guys. If I'm talking and you guys are talking, we're both talking at the same time. Otherwise, you guys cut each other out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I didn't notice. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Okay. So what the reason that Mo had suggested it, and then what I put in his ear was that Amber would have, being the paranoid person she was, if you guys are driving up in a black SUV, that there's associations that a paranoid person would make about that. And that's why you
Right,
ended up on
right.
bikes in the first place.
Yeah, I remember that. But I mean, to go back and then park the SUV a couple blocks away, and then walk over as opposed to bike over.
Okay. Is that what you're doing, guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So then you guys park, and the Mark and Ro take their position behind, and Amber and John make your way up towards the front. It's a fairly long driveway leading up to here as well, and I think that with what, you can see there are cameras on the outside of the building as well too, which is probably not surprising. And not surprisingly, when we sort of see you guys making your way up towards the very front there, towards the door, you can see out the back, Mark and Ro, where do you think you're positioned? It's a pretty big, like, untended backyard with maybe 1 or 2 big trees, and the path sort of leads down to the back where that creek is, and the creek is down about maybe 3 feet. So there's a 3 feet embankment that you go down, and then the creek runs along behind a bunch of the buildings.
I would like to, somewhere on his escape path, I would like to position ourselves, or maybe out of sight behind a tree. It doesn't have to be great cover, it just has to
So
be...
do you mean along the, like, in the backyard, or do you mean along the creek somewhere?
I
in
would
the
say
backyard,
go
because
along
he
the
has to
creek.
go
Guys,
to the backyard to get
one-
to the creek.
Only one at a time. If you guys hear someone else talking, please stop talking so you can give a chance to have only one person talking at a time. Okay? Okay? Okay, so Brent, you were saying something, Ingolf started saying something, and you started talking over him. So, Ingolf, what were you saying?
I was thinking just stay a bit more in the back at the creek, but
Okay.
if Mark wants to go further, we could go further.
Sure. And Brent, what were you saying?
I was just saying somewhere closer into the backyard, so if he started booking for it, we're right there.
You guys could do both too, right? I mean, there's 2 of you guys. You could have Ro back at the creek if you want to have a second person there, and then Mark
Yes.
could be in the backyard.
Okay.
Yeah.
That works.
Okay, so that is what we see. Mark's behind one of those big old trees in the backyard. Ro, you're sort of like down in the creek, kind of partially concealed by some shrubs. and you see the back door kind of, slam open. The screen door slams, and this person goes running down with a backpack over their shoulder. This guy is probably, well, he's probably in his mid-40s. He's got kind of like mostly salt and some pepper hair. He's got a clean-shaven, and he's lean, lean kind of either underfed or, runner kind of physique. And he's booking for the creek. He does not appear to see where you are, Mark.
I would like to sneak attack and intercept him.
Go right ahead. Okay, so then this will be our first attack in the game. So you're going to try and grapple him. It sounds like, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then grapple is a specific attack, I think. Where is it here? I was reading.
Yeah, it's a specific type, so you could have a focus in it, which I do not, but I am aware that I could have.
Oh, so it's subduing.
Yeah.
Trying to subdue an enemy, so that is a stunt attack. You either make a normal attack and then hope to get stunts to try and get this guy down. If you don't, then you would just do damage as normal. Or you make a stunt attack, which means you automatically get one stunt, but inflicts no base damage. If you roll doubles, you earn additional stunt points, and may choose a stunt that damages someone, or just add it to the stunt results.
Okay, hang on. Let me just look at the melee stunts to see if there's something that knocks them down that looks semi-reasonable.
Well, there is actually grappling stunts.
Is there? Okay.
Yeah. So for one, you grapple. You and your target make opposed fighting grappling rolls. If you win, they can't move from where they are on their next turn. You and your target both take -1 dice penalty. That's a 1 point. If you get a success and no other things, you automatically get a chance to try and grapple them.
Okay, well, let's try that instead of punching him.
Okay. So go ahead. Then make your melee. You don't have a grappling focus?
No. I guess aiming doesn't work for grappling. Like I couldn't take. Could I take a minor action to position myself?
You're gonna have to move in to grapple this guy. So that's
okay,
that's
right.
your.
So that's my action.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will run and see if I can use my giant muscular physique to knock this.
Here we go. Go ahead. His defense is an 11, so that is a big hit. Yeah. So you come racing out. It's not you don't get any other stunt points, so it's just a matter of contested fighting and grappling. So go ahead and make another fighting grappling check, and I'm going to make the check for him.
All right.
I rolled awful. There's no way. Okay, so yeah, you've got your hand on this guy. What does it look like?
I just I football tackle him.
Yeah.
And bring him to the ground.
Okay. And then to escape. Let's see here.
Oh, I guess I'll let people know I got him.
What? So what? You just yell out, "I got him"? Try and keep yourself in the scene. Like what would you have time to scream? I think you'd scream out 1 or 2 things. That's it.
Got him.
Okay. So you got him. All right. So Ro, you've seen all this happen. I'll let you have the next action. What are you doing?
Yeah, I would get up and go over there.
Okay, so you go running over. I'll see you're in melee range right now. So by the end of your run, you'll be able to get there. I think is there a charge action as well too? Yeah, there is.
Yeah, but I don't want to charge anyone. I don't even know how to do that.
Okay, okay. So you go racing over, and he's struggling with this guy. The guy's like, "Get off me!" Yeah, I'm gonna make. It's going to be a easy difficulty, but I want John and Amber to make perception hearing checks for me, please. This is only going to be a 9. It's going to be an easy check, but I think there's a chance you won't hear it. And then I'll go with him, and then we'll go back to you, Mark. John, you heard it. Amber, you heard it as well, too. So you guys were at the front door, and you heard Mark yelling out, "I got him!" from the back of the backyard. All right, so this guy is going to try and escape. So why don't you give me a contested fighting check again there, Brent? I got an 11. He is not free. Okay, so then it's your turn, Mark. What are you doing? So you could do another stunt, but you need to get some other stunt points in order to try and take this person down.
Right. So I would do it. It would be another attack that would generate 1 stunt point, but I need to roll doubles in order to subdue him further.
That's right. I may have that wrong for those listening at home. I may have that wrong. I'll read them afterwards, but that's my understanding of it from reading the grappling stuff. So go ahead, Brent. What is your... Oh, did you roll again?
And no doubles.
No doubles. So you're still... He's not going anywhere, but you're maintaining the hold. But, yeah. You're not able to get him down. Ro, what are you doing?
Can I talk to him? Kind of like, stop fighting.
Sure, yeah. I mean, that would be an action as well. So I'll see that...
Like a minor action or like a full action?
No, because you're going to make a skill check to try and convince him, right? So, for you've been trying to wrestle him down. Ro, what are you doing?
I would just say, relax. We don't want to hurt you.
Okay. So give me a communication persuasion check, please.
I'm not good at this, but...
But you stunned
I
it, though. So that's 15. And you got 3 points for social stunts. So what do we got here for general social stunts? Boom. What are you thinking? You got, I think, is it 3 stunt points you got? 2?
Yeah.
3 stunt points, yeah. So what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think we could go good cop, bad cop, so...
Yeah.
I'm the nice guy who says, well, we want to talk, and Mark is the mean guy.
Yeah, sure. So then, Brent, why don't you give us a give us a strength intimidation check. That to me is the opposite.
All right.
Oop,
Oh, well.
I popped out the chat for some reason. I hit something wrong. Okay, so that is a 6, 11, 13. Okay, so... I think you are just like, settle down! And he suddenly stops, struggling with you. And he's kind of looking up, and he's got glasses. And he's like, who are you, man? Are you with the government?
No, we just want to talk to you.
And this is when John and Amber kind of come running around the corner as well. He looks over, he's like, no, man, it's her! It's her! She's with him! She's with the government! Let me go!
No one here is with the government.
I don't know what a government is.
Well, that's what they sure issue those haircuts in, mister. He's talking to you, Mark. I know government and an army when I see one.
I was the army. I am not the army anymore.
Yeah, what about that one with a shaved head and them scars? You can't fool me. Oh, who's this one? Men in Black! Help! I'm being taken down by the Men in Black! As John is walking over towards you.
I'll just say, calm down, Darkmaster. This is Persephone from the Enlightened.
He
What's left of them, that is.
Catches him and he looks over. Wait, what? You? What are you doing here? I gave that information to your cell in good faith.
Yeah, and Ro here is the product of that. Unfortunately, it cost the rest of the group their lives. We came back and we found them all dead. So, Johnny...
Who's dead?
I'll reel off the other code names.
Okay.
Johnny McTavish,
oh, God.
Bob Howard, God. They're all dead. We came back and they were all mutilated. Sorry to be blunt.
Mutilated. Oh, God.
What would I call the people who killed them, Kev?
I think we said that they were... was it
Nightborn? Nightborn?
Nightborn, there you go, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Nightborn. They were killed by the Nightborn.
What do you mean? That he gives you a look like that doesn't mean anything to him. What do you mean, Nightborn?
I know, but...
Yeah. No, like, it's just that to give context that he doesn't have any clue what that
Right. No,
what that
I
is.
figured you wouldn't.
What do you mean, Nightborn? What wiped out your people, then? How'd they find out about you?
We don't know.
God,
That's why we're here to see you.
He stops and kind of looks up at the sky. All right, well, if we're going to talk about this, we best not do it out here. Surveillance everywhere. He kind of looks around, suspicious. I'm picturing this guy is played by Mark Maron in with a kind of a southern accent. Yeah. Come on, get inside. You soldier boy, come on. We don't want to be out here. Drones flying up way too high. They could be finding out everything. I'm a catalyst. And I got some information for you that may help find out what's going on. But first, you're going to tell me how you found me. And he turns and he starts heading back in. Come on, I'll make Pop-Tarts for everybody.
Nice.
And I think, guys, that's where we'll end the session. So we'll find out what Darkmaster73 has to tell you guys in 2 weeks' time. In the interim, like we discussed before we went live, you guys are level 3 now. We're only playing this game for a short period, so we want to try out, see what happens when characters are going up. So welcome to level 3, guys. Go ahead and make your selections for that. I think there is... Oh, your conviction pool goes up by 1 as well at level 3. So you guys will gain 1 point of conviction back. But yeah, we'll open next session with some role-playing. So then, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for episode 2 of Terminus. And the Trail of the Darkmaster73 is what I called this episode. I got to rename. I got it at 76 right now, but I'll change that as soon as we finish up. So, as always, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below. In addition, if we screwed up any of the rules, which is very likely, please feel free to provide insight, if not only for us, for any other folks who are watching this and don't want to learn, or I guess want to benefit from our mistakes. Please feel free to correct us on that. In addition, you can reach me on Twitter at Dungeon Musings, and you can... reach me by email. My email address is dungeonmusings@gmail.com. In addition, you can find a link in the description of this video to the Discord channel for Dungeon Musings, and we have channels dedicated to this campaign and all the other campaigns that we run on the channel. You can find all of us on there and ask questions of the players as well, too. In addition, there's also a Find a Game group on there and a bunch of other neat stuff. Last but not least, there is in the, well, not last, penultimate, there's a link in the description of the video to something called Heroes Save Villages. That's the charity fundraising campaign that we run on the channel. It all benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, a really terrific organization active in over 130 countries that provides stable and supportive and nurturing environments for over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children to live in. And to date, we've raised almost $4,000 to help those kids. Any donations go directly to SOS Children's Villages International. None of it goes to the channel. None of it goes to any other middleman. Last but not least, I want to thank my players. So, Mo, Ingolf, Jeff, and Brent, thank you so much for the session today, guys. I had a lot of fun, and I think we learned a lot about the mechanics. We got a chance to see combat, to see advanced tests, and some other stuff, so I am looking forward to next session. Then, an awesome job covering the role-playing with the jellyfish as well, too, Ingolf. That was really great. So then, until next time, folks, thank you so much for joining us, and until we see you again, happy gaming.